All right, who's ready for the Dirt Life Show?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. We are fresh off the UTV World Championships, and we apologize for the late start. Thank you very much, Google software, for being such a piece of crap. Anyways, we have all of our Facebook Live stuff is working, but unfortunately, the YouTube Live stuff isn't working today. So if you can listen on Facebook, please go over there and check it out. We want to have everybody join us and have some fun with us, man. This is going to be an awesome, jam-packed episode of all kinds of mayhem, just like the races were, and all kinds of fun as well. So we can't wait to talk to you guys. Please join us as much as you can in the comments section on our live feeds. I would say to join us on YouTube, but unfortunately, Google is not helping us out tonight with our live broadcasting software. So like I said, we still want you to join in, so come on over to Facebook and hang out. You can always check us out if you don't get the chance to check us out live on Monday nights. You can always check us out in the archives. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, every single type of podcast network. You can check us out on your favorite device and hang out with us that way, too. You can listen to it at work while you're doing some welding or something, right? So we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We appreciate everybody for all their kind words over the weekend and stuff. And even more so, I appreciate Casey for coming in the studio. What's up, bud?
Heck yeah, doing good.
How's things going?
It's going all right. A little crazy, but hanging in there.
Well, now that the weather's cooling off, it's going to get even crazier because you're going to spend more time on two wheels, right?
I know. It's funny because we're like, hey, it's cooling off. It's like 67 in the morning and then 180 in the afternoon. Like, when is it going to lift?
Yeah, exactly. But it's still better than what it was a month ago. So
it's better than 90 at 5 a.m.
Well, and in Lake Havasu at the UTV World Championships this past weekend was pretty dang hot, man. We were lucky because we had an Airbnb with a pool, so we were in there like 24/7.
Nice.
When we weren't working in the garage, we were out there in the pool hanging out. So, yeah, like I was saying, we attended the UTV World Championship this past weekend. And, man, well, actually, I should say this whole past week, right? Because it was such a long event. But it was really cool. Like, we had a great time. So I want to say thank you to all the guys that helped me. I actually raced, so it was pretty fun. Like, we had a good time. And we're going to tell some stories about everybody's journey going down through the race course and stuff because it was freaking brutal, man. Super, super gnarly. Before we get into everything, we've already missed one of my guys, Alfonso. He's going to come on a little bit later. But he was our media guy that was following us around, having some fun, taking some video and pictures. But since the software didn't start quick enough, we lost a little bit of time, so I pushed him back a little bit. So let's thank all of our sponsors and just get right to it, man. It was really, really cool hanging out with everybody this weekend. We got to hang out and see the Zollinger guys. The only people we didn't see were the Solderweld guys. So you guys can go to solderweld.com and use the code DIRTLIFE, save a whole bunch of money. I had my off-road repair kit in the car just in case I needed it. Thank goodness I didn't need it. I thought I was going to because I was tearing up so many tires and wheels, but I didn't need it, so that was awesome. The KMC wheels and EFX tires lasted really, really good. So please support all those guys because they have fantastic products, man. Once you hear how gnarly that terrain was, you're going to be like, man, going on the trail ride is going to be easy if I use those products.
Yeah, but you can't weld a tire back together.
Yeah, exactly. So those ones pretty much needed it, though.
Yeah, they do.
And those are badass tires, too. So
definitely.
I got to see the Zollinger boys, so please look at ZollingerRacingProducts.com and check out all the new stuff that they have. They're coming out with new, awesome, innovative stuff for UTVs all the time, man. It is super, super cool. So please go check those guys out and use the code DIRTLIFE so you can show some love our way. And obviously you can save some money too. So like I said, thank you to Ryan at KMC Wheels. We hung out with him this weekend. It was just good to see everybody. And we got to be part of the Shock Therapy crew actually almost all weekend. It was really, really neat, man. They supported and surprised us with a bunch of fun stuff. Justin took the whole team out to dinner and invited us to go with him. The stuff that goes on behind the scenes is just two things. They have so much fun. Going to dinner was like one of the funnest things I did. And then second, the professionalism and the stuff that they do is off the chain, man. So it's really, really cool to see all that stuff. And we're going to talk about it a little bit when we get to my portion of the UTV World Championship. But they followed me around with a freaking helicopter.
Yeah,
dude.
I saw that. When I saw that picture, I was like, oh, hey, that's cool. A desert shot. And I'm like, whoa, that's like 75 more levels of awesome because there's a helicopter in the background.
Dude, you should. When I saw like they were coming out there and like Justin's like, hey, do you have any like tape you could put on the top of your roof? And I'm like, for
to
what?
Find you?
Yeah. And then so my dad went and got some green fluorescent cardboard and we just taped it on the roof.
Oh, nice.
And then Justin like came over and like surprised. I was like, no way.
Cool.
And so it was super, super cool to see him. Like,
awesome.
I really, honestly, man, it made me feel like a rock star. I was like,
Definitely.
I get last place. I'm the only one with the helicopter.
Well, the media makes it look pretty freaking cool.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, and dude, we're just some ordinary team, just going out and having fun in a little RS1 race car, right?
Perfect.
But we're gonna thank everybody that helped me and stuff too. But we won't be able to get into it since we're running a little bit behind because we have, Ryan Edwards going to call in at 6:20. So. We're going to have a lot of FaceTime calls today. We're going to have Ryan Edwards on from KMC Wheels, like I just said. Kristen and Wayne Matlock are friends of the show, and they come on all the time. But now we get some superstars that also have the Matlock name, Wyatt and Clayton. So both of their kids got to race the UTV World Championship.
Awesome.
So that is pretty cool that they you can click that to activate it. So that's going to be pretty cool that they are able to come hang out with us. So I can't wait to talk to Wyatt and Clayton. That's going to be super awesome. Justin Smith from Shock Therapy is going to call in. Kaden Danbury, man, he had an awesome weekend, so he's going to call in just a little bit here as well, maybe after 7 o'clock. And Mike Gardner. Mike Gardner has a pretty special story, too. He hasn't raced in a little while, and he got an opportunity very similar to what I did from Craig Scanlon to be able to race. So it was cool to see him out there as well. So pretty much everybody that we got on the show is just going to be super stoked to talk about their weekend, just like this dude right here. So I'm really excited to go over all the stuff that happened this weekend. It was just fantastic. Like you and I talked a little bit about it before the show when we watched Pro Motocross. It's just cool to see everybody back at the races.
Yeah, definitely.
And this was no exception, even though the terrain was like insane. Like insane. We're going to do some other stuff too. Before we get Ryan on, we'll mention it. We're going to be doing some giveaways, some pretty cool stuff. Like before, I don't know if you've ever seen at the motocross races or like at off-road races, like at the end of races, like sometimes the winners will give away their plastics off their dirt bikes, autograph it and sign it and give it out. Or at Lucas Off-Road events, a lot of times, Pro 4s, Pro 2s and stuff, they tear each other's like fenders off and stuff. And,
right.
Some of the people can go like get the hoods and stuff, and the drivers will autograph them.
That's awesome.
Well, we're going to kind of do the same thing. Ryan from KMC Wheels, we'll talk to him a little bit about it, but he said that we can give away the wheels and tires that were just used and abused this weekend. So
that's cool.
These things are pretty badass. So since I felt like such a rock star, I'm going to go ahead and sign them, and we're going to give them away to some lucky winners. We're also going to give them some safety stuff too. So we've talked about this on the show before, but maybe you could show the camera a little bit in case. Is these TacMed info, they're basically, I don't know, I call them dog tags, but they're safety tags that you can put in your suit. Right. I had one of these in my suit over the weekend, and they're basically just so you can keep track of the driver in case anything happens to the driver. These are really good for trail riding and for anything, not just racers.
Yeah,
and
great idea.
We got to actually go to dinner with Josh from TacMed this weekend and hear a little bit about his story, how he wants to help people. And it's really cool to be able to understand what people want to do and how they want to help people and just make it a good time and a safe time for everybody. So I'm really excited that we can offer that stuff too. And Josh is a fantastic dude. So it'll be cool for us to be able to give you guys that stuff. So anyways, Ryan from KMC is going to be calling in just a second here. I think Casey's trying to dial him up and get him on the line. Ryan, I think we use just audio, man. So Ryan, what's going on, man? Are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Right on, dude. Can you call a different number if I send it to you? Because it looks like the FaceTime audio isn't working. I thought we were going to do video. Yeah, I'll just text it over to you right now. So while we wait for Ryan to get on the line, we're going to do that giveaway, and we're going to do it on social media. I don't know, man. We've got to figure out.
Are you talking like one each, or how's this work? Like,
yeah, I think we should. I think we should give away one tire. I mean, like nobody's going to be able to use those
of
things.
course, but it would be cool to have that displayed in your wherever.
Dude, in the
shop,
garage or wherever,
whatever.
right? Yeah. So I think it'd be pretty cool. Maybe we should give it away to 4 people. We'll give each one of them a tire and a wheel, and then that was at the 2020 UTV World Championship that finished the race, man, on the Winning at Life RS1. So I think it'd be pretty cool for some people to have that.
I think we need to work in some taco language into this giveaway somehow.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, right?
Like a secret, what'd you call it, code word or something?
Yeah, we could. We could definitely do that. So pay attention to social media. We'll do it this week, and we'll have some fun with it. It'll be pretty cool. So anyways, so we'll get Ryan from KMC to call in just a second here. And so we were talking about how rad it is to give away these wheels and stuff, and it's even cooler because these wheels and tires came with such a cool project. The project Winning at Life RS1 was such a huge success. We reached just at 1 million people doing the whole project, and it was really neat to see all the support. And we got one of the guys that supported the whole time during the project, Ryan from KMC Wheels, on too. So what's going on, bud? How was your weekend?
Nah, it was good. A little stressful, but we made it out alive.
Well, you guys had a lot of stuff going. We'll talk about your race, but you guys had a lot of stuff going on for KMC at the races too, because you guys were a vendor as well, right?
Yeah, vendor setup. Full support there. Got to support the racers. Then we also had a team over at Sand Hollow for Trail Heroes, so we were going a bunch of different directions.
Dang, man! So it was a busy weekend, huh?
Yeah, busy to say the least. And I got another one coming up.
The only thing that we missed was that I literally, like 2 seconds before we got on the show, I finally finished the last moto Opala when I got to see Chase Sexton come home with that W. That was pretty cool, man. Those guys were
That
ripping.
was so rad.
And
Sexton's gear was dope. So dope also.
Yeah, with those circles around his shoulders. That was
good.
super cool.
Yeah, the whole MJ look was rad.
However, how was that old school Cianciarillo gear?
The Fox stuff.
Oh,
so
that was pretty dope too.
Awesome.
Casey and I were talking before the show, like Damon Bradshaw, Chika Matasevich replica, kind of. Like, are you feeling that stuff?
Straight up. Like the neon with the white, like it just killed it.
So
Fox
clean.
is killing it all together.
Oh yeah, you're a Fox guy, huh?
Yeah, big Fox guy.
This weekend was super cool. So before we start talking about your race, I wanted to mention a couple things. And first of all, I got a lot of support over the weekend. I know you got a ton of support too. But meeting your crew, dude, was like eye-opening, man. You have such a good support mechanism in the pits.
Yeah, it's pretty rad to be able to say, hey, let's go racing. And then 15 people jump up and say, all right, well, I'm coming with you.
Yeah, exactly. And they just work for food and drinks.
Tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give them more beer and a couple more tacos, and they're right out there.
It was super cool. And then I got to meet your son, too. Your son is like super into all the dirt off-road. He lives his dirt life with Dad.
Oh, yeah. It's turning into his life now. So he's going to be racing me here shortly, and it's going to start getting scary.
He's going to be faster than Dad pretty quick here.
Oh yeah,
before you know it.
Yeah. So it was pretty neat, and the reason that I say it was eye opening for me, it was because you can give us a little bit more detail, because I haven't actually talked to you about this, but unfortunately you were taken out of the race by a rock, like a million other guys this weekend. But I got to see the behind the scenes stuff of what your crew did and what your son was acting like during that time. And it was so cool, man. I posted a couple things on social media that were really interesting to me, because Kyle, one of your pit guys, drove me up to the top of a hill in their 4-seat Razor to kind of go see where Ryan was and stuff like that. And Gunner, Ryan's son, pretended like he was driving and said, man, we got to go help Dad. We got to go get Dad.
Nice.
And obviously Dad's way out in the middle of the desert,
Right.
but he was into it, dude. I love that. That's such a cool family vibe.
Yeah, he definitely is aware that, like, when Dad breaks, we got to go save him. Or I think he's more stoked than, oh yeah, now we got something to work on. So it's
something to do.
It's cool to have them in the pits and know that, if something does happen, they're always going to be there to get me back to the pit, or if I have the parts, keep me going.
Yeah, or if one of the guys in the pits just doesn't feel like it, Gunner's going to take the wheel and just go out there and get you.
Yeah. Age 3, he'll just take the 4-seater out and come get me.
Dude, how rad is that, man? So, what happened during the race? Because I never got to really understand what happened. So maybe you could take us a little bit through it.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, man. We start on the 4th or 5th row, and I knew Blaze and Groom, the method car. I knew both of them were going to be on a heater starting on the 1st row. So my whole mindset was I needed to get to them as quick as possible. And man, that 2-seater IMG built, man, is freaking rocket. And it was just eating every bump out there. So we went from, I think 7th place, 8th place start, we're passing for 3rd when I broke the car. So
dang, you moved up quick then, because how many miles were you in?
Yeah, so when we broke, we were at race mile 10. And we made some pretty quick moves, and I was just determined to get at least to those 2 guys and then hook onto them and kind of keep their pace for the race. And with desert racing, it's not always about how fast you can go. It's about the patience. And obviously my patience got thrown out the window, but I was feeling good.
Yeah. Way to go, moto guy. Blow your load all quick in the first 10 miles.
It was just one of those things where the car was feeling good. Everything was working. Like I felt like I wasn't overdriving and I was catching people. So it was a cool feeling. And I caught up to 3rd, and I was on him for a little bit, and we kind of played cat and mouse. And then I thought he was going to let me pass, but he was staying right to avoid a rock, and I went straight into it.
Oh, he juked you.
So he shot the turtle out.
Yeah.
Dude, he totally shot the turtle out at Ryan.
I mean, we were within freaking 2 feet of each other. So it was just bonehead move on my part. I should have gapped him a little bit so we could see what was going on. But
yeah, but hindsight's 20/20, right? Because that's not really a bonehead move when you're in the middle of it. So to give it a little bit of backstory, so we can understand, and when we have the other conversations with some of the other drivers and racers tonight, the track was in Lake Havasu, and it was I don't know what kind of rocks you want to call it, but there was massive rocks, there was little shale rocks, there was sharp rocks.
There was every type of rock you can imagine.
Right.
There was not. You threw the dictionary of rocks out there. That's what it was.
It was crazy because there was some rocks that were, I don't know, 15 feet high, like huge, massive rocks, right? And then there was all the tire killers that were let's just say 8 inches, just super sharp, like arrowhead kind of rocks.
Right.
And then there was like A-arm killers that were just the size that World's Strongest Man can pick up, kind of 3-footers. Yeah. So anyone you could see, and then to battle that, on top of it, the I don't want to even call it a layer of dust, because it was the most amount of dust I've ever driven in my whole life. I'm sure other people.
Well, yeah, because you did a morning race also, so you knew how the dust was just sitting. There was no wind pushing it out of the way.
So anybody that
it was just.
Yeah, and anybody that's never been to a desert race, yeah, dude, so crazy. And anybody that's never been to a desert race that hasn't seen this type of dust, imagine going I don't know, in your garage and just pouring talcum powder in front of a fan.
That's what it looks like.
And just having it hit you in the face and then not being able to see your front bumper. It's so crazy. And so what Ryan did when he's talking about when he got up on the other dude's bumper, that was exactly what you're supposed to do, because then you're not getting the dust in your face, you're getting the dust under the car.
Sure.
So he did the perfect thing, but unfortunately that's
your
a risk.
reaction time doesn't. Yeah, it kind of screws you when a big old rock is just sticking out at you.
Yeah, and on the part of the trail where that first 10 miles where Ryan was at, there's only a small section of clear. It's wash basically, so it's just sandy rock. And these washes aren't sand like normal. These are rocky washes. Mm. So he didn't get very much. There's some goat trails and stuff, and so he didn't get very much time to be able to make those passes because he was just stuck right behind people on single track the whole time.
Right.
So
yeah, and then come to find out at race mile 12 where you made another U-turn to go back. Then they're like, oh yeah, it gets nice and wide there where you could have made a pass. So if I would have waited 2 more miles, would have been a little bit better off.
Yeah, those areas were a little harder to pass though because you're wooded to be able to pass somebody, and then those guys in front of you would have just tried to dust you
wide
out.
open.
Yeah, try to dust you out. So, man, I still think it was pretty cool, dude. Like, desert racing is a really gnarly sport to be able to do, but to see people go through it, and you were out in the desert just trying to fix the car for what, 3-4 hours maybe?
Yeah, because the spot we were in, man. Once my crew got to me, I think they were on the last lap, but there was no retrieving us because no truck could get in there. They would have had gone backwards. So we broke the upper and lower ball joints, which in essence ripped the whole hub and tire and wheel off at the same time. So we, once my crew kind of walked me through it, we decided, we'll take the bolts off the sway bar, use those as a makeshift ball joint and kind of bolt the hub and everything back together and just limped it back.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, then we were about 10 feet from the front gate, and then the front wheel fell off again. So
I saw it parked out there. That added insult to injury, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm just like, leave it here. I'm done with it. I'll come get it later and put it in the trailer.
Hey, you know what though? There was probably 500 people that passed by that sucker, so just call it a business expense.
Good marketing too, right?
Perfect.
It's almost like I planned it.
Yeah, exactly. But did you have a good time though, man? Because it looked like no matter what, you were always having a smile on your face.
Man, I don't think I would be doing this if we weren't having a good time. It's the whole point of us being out there and racing is, just showing that we're involved and we're at the races. So, I can't get bummed on it. I'm out racing and having a great time, and my family gets to come. All my friends are involved. So, and honestly, I've never felt so comfortable in that car. So it was all working well, except for that one minor detail.
So does that mean that you're just going to chill out next time a little bit more and get the car beefed up?
No, I'm probably still going to race the car.
You're still going to go moto style?
A little less Red Bulls.
Literally on the drive home, I decided I'm going to sign up for the Parker race in 2 weeks.
No way.
Redeem myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, are you going to put different arms on there, like some with different heims and stuff?
I think no matter what, I was going to break something. So Zebros, who sponsors me with the arms and everything, they're going to send me a new set and just send me a spare set of ball joints and go with that. They're trying to come out with a uniball setup, which is a little bit more serviceable.
Right.
When you're out there, a ball joint, you have to press in and press out. So makes it kind of hard to put spare parts on.
Yeah.
But at least this time we'll have a backup set of arms, and if we can, get it back to the pit and fix and keep going.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I was really looking forward to filming some stuff and getting you in the pits and stuff. But honestly, man,
I know my wife and Gunnar couldn't stop talking about how you were in the pit, like hanging out there, just all pumped on it.
Yeah, I was having a good time though, talking to everybody. So like, you learn a lot, right? Like when you can just have a normal conversation with people. And I was so pumped to be hanging out there, dude. And you know what's funny is that's the first time I've ever hung out in any off-road pits ever. Was with your crew.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it was badass. And then I got to hang out with the shock therapy guys on Saturday, so that was sick too.
Well, you think about it, it's all like-minded people just amped up on racing, so it's just like me and you.
Yeah, dude, 100%. So it's like, I don't know, there's hundreds of people in the pits, right? And all of them are just waiting for that one, 3-second window that they can see their dudes cruise through
to do their job.
And,
right?
and they're so amped up, they'll just jump in with other competitors and start helping them.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I saw that a couple times too. That was pretty badass. Hey, so I had already talked to you a little bit about it today, but we had that idea of kind of how the motocross guys and the Pro 4 guys at the end of the races, they'll give away like fenders or they'll give away hoods and stuff at the races that break or whatever it is. I think we should do that, man, with these Winning at Life RS1 EFX tires and KMC grenade wheels.
Dude, I think it's awesome. And the cool part with that is, that's a very common bolt pattern and offset. So anybody really with a Polaris can bolt those up and get out there and race.
Yeah, exactly. So I honestly think these would be cooler sitting in the garage, but whatever the winners want to do. So maybe
we'll showpiece. little showpiece for their famous George.
I don't know about famous, but we definitely had a good time with that RS1 build. I know that you guys liked helping with it, and we had a bunch of people that were on board with it. So we actually got a lot of love for it. So I want to give some love back and help some people get some memorabilia in their garage, because I think these would be super cool to hang up.
Yeah, and I'll definitely throw in some hats, T-shirts, and stickers to whoever wins.
Oh, rad. That'd be super cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so they can have memorabilia and they can get some swag. Dude, thanks.
Can you find me a
Yep,
candle?
gotta lace them out, right?
Can you find me a candle, though?
Yeah, it sounds like Casey wants a candle.
Yeah, I'll stash one for you. Next time, there's a couple in the chase truck, but when George feeds me, we'll hand them over.
Nice.
Sweet, dude. The smell of victory. Well, I think we all deserve the smell of victory this weekend.
Yep.
None of us, me or you, got on the podium, but we still had an awesome weekend, dude. It was really cool to see all you guys. What's that comment say? I can't read it.
So I wasn't sure if you had, remember before we went on? I was like, do you see what Robert Blanton posted?
I haven't been able to look at my phone today.
Dude, it's insane.
Oh, yeah, he posted a really cool setup for you.
So
what is it?
So what are you feeling? Should we?
Well, I took a picture with them at the races.
No, it's freaking badass. But I don't. What's your feeling? Do we throw it out now?
What is it? I can't see that.
Hold on, just chill. It's pretty badass.
Pretty badass.
How about?
Yep.
I actually screenshotted it, and I'll take a picture, or I'll show you the picture.
What I need to look? Did he post something? I need to look at.
Yeah, hang tight, guys.
Okay. Well, Ryan and I can't freaking see that thing,
I don't want you to read it.
It's too far away.
I don't want you to read it yet.
Well, anyway, so Ryan's going to give away all these. Well, you keep talking then, because I'm going to read this. I don't want to be like silent right here.
So, Ryan, I'm thinking.
Or I can read it out loud.
Yeah, actually read it out loud.
The Warfighter Made Perseverance Award.
Yeah, definitely read it out loud.
The Warfighter Made Perseverance Award winner from 2020 UTV World Championship it's me?
It's you, dude.
No way.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Dude,
right before we went
I'm
on,
gonna start crying.
I'll do it.
Oh. I don't want to cry on the show,
right before
dude.
we went on, I saw it.
Yep, it popped up. I know, and I was like, man, does he know? Does he? So
No, I had no
Warfighter
idea.
Perseverance Award winner from 2020 UTV World Champion is none other than George Hamill. After suffering a near-fatal accident at last year's race, George overcame adversity, and with the help of his family and great people at Scanlon Motorsports Group, George entered the race. And George entered and finished this year's UTV World Championship in a Polaris. Shoot, I don't have the rest of it. Dude, so badass. Talk about we were just talking about
awesome.
how awesome that racing community is, and especially in this specific genre.
Dude, I'm not going to be able to hold it together right now.
Pretty awesome. So high five to you from everybody.
Well, hey, at least this way you got on the podium in one way.
Fuck, man. Well, thank you to Robert and all those guys, man. That's bitching.
There's more to it.
I saw them carrying that thing around, too. I took a picture of it.
That's so cool.
Dude,
So
that's
cool.
rad.
Well, now you get to hang it in your on your mantle.
Dude, yeah, we're giving away these things, and I will get an award, man.
How cool
That's
is that?
fucking sweet.
Hey, you know what? It's better than that. It's better than that cup that I re-gifted you for your anniversary.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Holy crap, man. I don't know what to do now. I got to keep control of this show, and I'm fucking balling up,
You're like,
dude.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
Totally.
Shit, man. Well, thank you guys very much for blowing me out right now.
So that was
Hey, well,
Sorry, Ryan. So Jeremiah had put that up there early in the show. He probably didn't know that you didn't see it. So he said, congrats to your Warfighter Made Award. So stoked you got back out to racing. And then
that's what it says?
Yeah, and Alfonso says, do it live. It actually, none of this was planned or scripted. It actually just fell in line perfect. So perfect. Yeah, there's Jeremiah. Here's the reaction.
Dude, I haven't been able to look at now I feel bad because I didn't check on my phone. Dude, I've been so busy.
You got to put on the show, right?
Yeah, that's definitely what I would like to do, but that's definitely not what I'm doing. Yeah, so fuck, man. Thanks you so much, Robert, and all those guys. That's so awesome. There's so many deserving people out there. I mean, Ryan just talked about being out in the desert for 4 hours. I didn't have to sit out in the desert, man. So
no, dude, you deserve it more than anyone.
I really appreciate that. That's super, super cool. Where do I get to check it out?
So it was on. Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too. It was definitely on Robert's page.
I'm gonna have to just give him a call after this.
Posted it too.
I can give him a call after this, dude. That's so rad. All right, dude. Well, now that we got me all balled up, like I said, we're going to get another phone call coming in just a sec, Ryan. So like I said, though, dude,
No worries, guys.
meeting your crew and hanging out and stuff was super, super cool this weekend. I was so amped for everybody to get back to the track and to see the smile on everybody's face, to see the smile on your face, your family's face, even in the adversity was so cool, dude.
Dude, it's what we live for, and I was just stoked you were out there having a good time. So if you are in the area or you want to come out to Parker in 2 weeks, same invite, dude. If you want to come out, roll around in the 4-seater, it's there for you.
Yeah, that would be super cool. Well, yeah, I might actually take you up on that. It would be kind of neat. One of these days, go ahead and answer it, Case. I'm going to be able to want to get back to the track because I was looking at some of my lap times, and even with a blown out tire, I was still up there with the leaders. So I got to make sure I can do better. It was pretty neat. So I'll explain my story, and if you don't have time to listen to the show, I'll give you a buzz this week.
Sound good, dude. Yeah, hit me up, and we'll go over some stuff.
Thanks, homie. I appreciate it, and good job this weekend.
Thanks, Ryan. We'll see you.
Hey, and congrats, man. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thanks, homie. Appreciate it. Thanks. Later. Could you put them on the big screen, please, Case?
I can.
So, God, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the show. Like, now I feel like I got to gather it up. Like, I feel like a girl just sitting here crying, man, like after she broke up with her boyfriend or something. I don't really know what to do. But
I'll bet these guys know what to do.
So, click on their screen a little bit. So, we'd like to welcome two of the younger kids at the UTV World Championship with some of the veteran racers in the side-by-side. Yeah, just click right there. Some of the veteran racers in the side-by-side world, Clayton and Wyatt Matlock with their parents, Wayne and Kristen. How are you guys doing?
What's up, guys?
Oh, can you speak up a little bit? We can't hear you. I don't know if it's low audio or not.
Oh, no.
Can you hear him, Case? No?
Nope.
Go ahead and try it again, Kristen. I'm sorry we can't hear you. Uh-oh, we got bad audio. That's what I get for having to take the whole studio with me up to... Let's see here. Let's see if I can find out what's wrong. Give us just a second, guys. So, Case, what...
So
what
how
do
do
you
we?
think?
Yeah. So how do we? We need to talk to Robert. Is what we need to talk to.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody has tons to say about it. I was pretty stoked the second I saw it.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, man. But I don't know what. I don't even know what to think about it right now. Like, I still feel like I'm trying to have to hold it together. Let's see if we can just have Kristen call in on the phone. I'm going to send her a text message so that she can give us a buzz. So, dude, I really don't know what to do. I feel like I'm choking on the show right now just because of all this crap, man. Like, I can't believe that they gave that to me. It's so cool. So maybe Kristen can check her phone right now and give us a buzz on the audio. We'll still be able to see you on the screen, Kristen. We're going to keep you on FaceTime, but maybe you could use one of your other phones to be able to call that number that I just sent over, and we can get you on the audio as well. So I got to be able to figure out how to check this out, man. It looks like a bunch of comments are coming in too. That's pretty cool. So the UTV World Championship was just insane, man. And I want to see how these kids managed it, right? Because
was this their first for them?
I don't know. I think so. But for a kid like Wayne and Kristen, they could manage it pretty easy, right? But
right.
For the kids, it's going to be like a new thing going through all this rough terrain and stuff.
Right.
Kristen, can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you guys now. Can you hear us?
Okay. Thanks, Wayne. I appreciate you guys going through that with us. We had a couple of technical difficulties, it seems like, today, but thank you guys.
We could hear you guys the whole time.
Yeah, that's weird, man. So we had, I took the studio actually up with me to Havasu, so plugging some stuff back in. Maybe I missed a wire or something. I got I need to hire a mechanic.
I think we got it.
Well,
okay.
Thank you
So
guys.
I muted the FaceTime on my phone. You can still see us though.
Yeah, and we can hear you guys too. So thank you very much.
Cool.
Thank you very much for being our technical crutch. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, let me catch up on these real quick. So Jeremiah says, cool thing is I'm a vet It's well-deserved from the veterans to you, George. You are a gangster. Awesome. And then our buddy Kaden says, so well-deserved, George. Congrats.
Thanks, Kaden. I appreciate it. Kaden's going to be coming up in a little bit here. So, going back to the kids, man. So what did you guys think? So maybe you guys could tell us who you are first. I don't know how many other interviews that you had, but why don't you start first, Clayton, and then Big Brother can go after that.
I'm Clayton Matlock.
And what class do you race, Clayton?
And then
What class do you race?
I raced the 170 class.
In Polaris Razor 170, right?
Yeah.
Right on. And then how about Big Bro? So we got Wyatt Matlock there. What do you race, Wyatt?
Yeah. I actually raced the RS1 junior class.
Right on, dude. So you're riding the big boy car, just like the one that I drove, right?
Yep.
That's pretty sweet. So Casey and I were just talking a little bit while we were, your mom was doing all the technical stuff for us. We were just saying that, like your dad and your mom have seen all kinds of different types of terrain and rocks and all kinds of stuff in Mexico, the United States. But what kind of stuff have you guys seen compared to what you guys got to drive on at the UTV World Championship? Because to me, man, it was gnarly.
It was rough. Yeah, usually the dirt series are not that rough.
Yeah, because it's motocross, right? It's like more motocross?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. The dirt series is.
What about you, Clayton? How about the terrain for you?
It was kind of rough, not much. It was mostly turns and mostly competitors that I passed.
So I saw a couple pictures of you, dude. You were banging bars with all those people, man. You were getting in there, throwing it sideways, roosting people. It was pretty bad.
I got the whole shot.
Woo!
Heck yeah.
How was that, man? Did you just pin it and your car just was shredding down the start, or what?
I saw him say one, and then I just floored it.
Like ready to go?
He's been cooped up and ready to go,
Giving
too.
away all the secrets.
Yeah. Nice.
That's all right. And then what about you, Wyatt? How was your whole shot?
I actually didn't get the whole shot. You don't really want the whole shot in the RS1 class because otherwise you get bumped around and flipped.
Hey, so
I've learned my lesson. Trust me.
Oh, dang, really? Maybe you could give us a little bit more info on that. Have you flipped over before?
Yeah, me and my dad were out on a big ride, and I went into a turn fast, and there was a bush in the center of the turn, and I hit it, and I rolled it.
Oh, crap, man. Was your dad able to help you get it back on all four wheels?
Yep.
There wasn't four wheels left to put it on.
Yeah.
At least
he did more than roll it. He rolled it about 3 times.
So he got a good one out of the way right away.
Yeah. So he's a little timid nowadays, but he's picking up his speed. Just needs more seat time to get comfortable again.
That's really, really cool. Well, maybe you guys could tell us how old you are. How old are you, Wyatt?
I am 11 years old.
And what about you, Clayton?
I'm 8 years old.
Dang, so you guys are starting pretty young, man. How does it feel getting out there and racing like mom and dad do?
It's pretty fun.
Do you guys want to do it as a career, or you guys want to do something else?
I want to do it as a career.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, right? Dude, who wants to build build cabinets and stuff? Like, we want to be off-road racers.
Yeah.
We'll let Dad do that.
I guess I want to do it as a career when I grow up too.
Yeah, exactly.
Something else that you want to do too, though.
Yeah. What is it you want to do?
What else do you want to do?
Great. Now I gotta think.
Now you gotta think. Well, why you think? I can tell you that there's 4 other people other than the kids here that would love to be off-road racers as a profession as well. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So what is it that
you want to do, Claire?
Rock star. Is that right? So
I want to be a singer, and I also want to be a Nitro Circus guy.
Really?
Nice.
That's pretty cool. So I got 2 questions because there's some specifics that go behind those, right? Like, first of all, the easy one is, what kind of singer do you want to be? Like country singer, rap singer, rock singer, pop singer?
Country singer.
You want to be a country singer. Okay, so that's good. And then second, in Nitro Circus, do you know how many different like skills and disciplines are there? There's like a million. Like there's a guy that rides a wheelchair on a half pipe. Have you seen that dude?
Yeah.
He's insane. And then so they have the guys that do like the crazy stunts that are like, I don't know, they could like go in like a canoe over the half pipe.
Garbage can.
Yeah, garbage can.
Yeah.
And then they got the guys that are sending it like Travis Pastrana on a dirt bike. What would you like to do?
I would like to drive a Razor in Nitro Circus.
Nice.
That would be pretty sweet, man. Have you seen the track that Travis Pastrana has at his house? It looks pretty awesome for a mini Razors.
Yeah. We're planning on going to his house.
Oh, are you?
Maybe
Yeah.
sometime. Yeah.
You're already making plans in your head, and Mom has to figure out how to
Yeah.
how to attack that plan.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
What about you, Wyatt? Did you figure out what you want to do?
Yeah, I probably want to be a game warden as a career too.
What did he say?
A game warden.
Oh, really?
That's a good one.
Dude, that is a really good one.
Super cool.
I bet you if you figured out some of that stuff, you could teach a lot of those off-roaders like some serious knowledge, man, because a lot of those guys are into that stuff.
Thank you.
That would be pretty cool, man. I think both of those are good, but I think no matter what, like when you talk about these things, whether it be a game warden, a country singer, or even a Nitro Circus athlete, all of those take a ton of dedication and practice to be able to do. So you got to study and work your butts off to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And sell more cabinets.
Did all day today.
Awesome.
So what did you guys think of the races then? Give me your guys' race recap. So let's do yours first, Clay.
Go ahead, bud.
Go ahead. Tell them how your race went. Give them a play-by-play.
Yeah. So you got the whole shot. Then what's happened next?
Quickly.
Oh,
After you got the whole shot, what happened? Did
I had
you
the whole shot, and
did you
then,
stay out front?
Someone passed me on the turn away, and then I tried to bump up back there, and then I actually, at the end of the race, I got 12th, and somebody plumbed it into a tree.
Did you get mad at them?
And
And then
I got 12th place.
did you get tangled up in a little pile up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
third lap.
How'd you get out of the pile up?
I backed up.
Very dramatic.
Yeah, that was pretty dramatic. But so, if anybody wants to see, we'll post some stuff on social media, and if you want to look at Wayne or Kristen's social media, you can check out some of the play-by-play stuff that he was talking about in actual visuals with the pictures and stuff. Some of the cool pictures that I saw were obviously mom and dad cheering them on, having them go, taking pictures on the podium and stuff. But one of the pictures that Kristen sent over to me that stood out the most was him getting chased by a pack of 170s. It was like a pack of wolves, dude, chasing prey, man. Because
he whole shot.
Well, and I know this section because it was coming through the pit area, and this is where these kids are full wood, right? They're like wide open, and I know that Clayton was just like mashing the throttle because these 3 or 4 dudes were right behind him trying to catch up. So
Cool.
That must have felt super cool for him to go through that. Did it feel pretty neat, Clayton?
I actually didn't see him behind me.
Oh, you were just looking forward?
Tunnel vision. Good.
I was trying not to flip.
Ooh-wee.
Nice.
Look at that, dude. He's spoken like a true racer, just
Yep.
looking forward, concentrating on his own deal.
That's right.
All right, Wyatt, we only have 5 minutes left, so maybe you can give us your race recap. How you said you kind of took it easy on the start to manage the race a little bit different than Clayton did, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to make it easy so I wouldn't wind up in a ditch or something. There's actually a couple cars. Yeah, there's a couple cars that I found without tires on the course, and one of them was in a ditch with its wheels all spread out.
Holy cow, man. You definitely don't want to do that because your dad doesn't want to fix the car after that first time you flipped over.
Yeah.
How did you think the track was, like with all the crazy terrain and stuff like that? How did you do managing the track?
Describe the dust and everything.
Yeah.
You can see.
Yeah, I couldn't see at all because it was so powdery out there. There was so much dust, and whenever a car got around you, you'd try to get around them, and you can't see them because the dust is that thick.
Dude, I totally agree with that. So I was getting roosted, like it wasn't on the same track you were on, but I was getting roosted going up one of the washes so bad. And I took dust for, I don't know, a good mile and a half or so. And then so finally I just got out of the main line and I just went bombing through the bushes. Like I felt like I told my my crew, I was like, I felt like I was driving through a cornfield. There was so much shrapnel flying over the car.
Yeah. I actually had to do that one time because there was a car, it was like a canyon, and his tire fell off and he got wedged in between them, so I had to go up the hill and back down the hill.
Holy cow, man. Were you able to manage it pretty easy? Like, did you see the line where you needed to go and stuff?
Yeah, I did.
That's pretty cool. In desert racing, that's a huge, huge plus when you have that skill set to be able to manage those like spur of the moment things and be able to find lines and choose lines. So I think you're probably learning from a couple of the best drivers in the world right behind you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
So does that little sigh mean don't talk about mom and dad? Let's talk about the kids more.
Yeah. Let's talk about my whole shot.
So I first of all, I think you guys did really well. I love those pictures that you guys all took together, and I'm really excited that both of you guys had such a good time because we all had a really awesome time being back at the races too. So it was probably neat for you guys to be with all your friends and family and everybody.
Yeah.
And you had fun camping and everything.
Yeah, we had a blast camping. It was kind of like a parking lot that we were camping at, but we had our RC cars, and I found like a little track that we can do. There's an RC car park there.
Oh, really? Hey, so you want to know a secret?
Till he broke it.
Yeah, till he broke it. You want to know a secret? The guy sitting right next to me, his name's Casey. He's a professional RC car driver.
Long time ago.
Oh.
I don't know. He can go pretty fast with the RC cars. Have you ever seen like when dirt bike guys like go up sideways and they whip it in the air? They call it like a Bubba scrub, or like when they whip it in style over the finish line. Well, he can do that. He can do that with the RC car.
It's all on the wrist.
Oh, nice.
It's all on the wrist.
It's pretty awesome, man. So, you know what's funny is that those RC cars, we talked with your dad a little bit about it before, about staying up till 2 a.m. working on stuff. Those RC cars teach you a lot because they have the same standard principles of shock geometry and the way the suspension works, camber, tow, all of these kind of cool things that you can learn from RC cars that you can apply to your regular big car as you start getting faster and faster.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It was just like a scaled down.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully, you don't run into a RC car.
Yeah. My brother's trying to drive my brother's, but his steering was all messed up on it, so it only drives straight instead of turning.
Oh crap, man! Well, we got to get going, guys, but we wanted to just let you guys know that somebody commented in and wanted to say hi to you. Can you see who that is, Casey?
Yeah, Kathy Marshall King. Hi, Wyatt and Clayton.
Do you know who Kathy Marshall King is?
Oh, yeah, that's my nan. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, she wanted to say hi to you guys. We really appreciate you guys calling in and having fun with us. So before we hang up, I definitely want to see if I could ask you guys. I talked to your mom a little bit about this, and she said it was okay just as long as you guys had time. I'd like to do a show with you guys and just talk with you guys about what you guys want to do in the future, understand how much you like off-road racing, and maybe we'll even do Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader questions to your parents.
That'd be fun.
I might lose that one.
I think it'd be pretty fun. Well, hey, we got Justin Smith calling in, so we're going to let you guys go, okay? Have a great night, all right?
All right. For having us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
Hey, guys.
Great job this weekend, okay, guys?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
See you later.
Yeah.
Man, that's super cool. Especially with the kids, you know what I mean? Like, it's always so neat to see, like, the different perspective on what they go through during the week. Like, so both of them.
What was the youngest one? Wyatt? Is that Wyatt?
Clayton was the younger one, and Wyatt was, yeah.
I love how he was hanging his hat on. I got the whole shot.
Yeah, dude.
I love it.
He was super pumped on that, right?
That was great.
I just think it's super cool because the perspective is so much different than what our perspective is, you know, because there's so much seriousness with it. So it's neat to be able to see what the kids are doing. I mean, how pumped was he that he was just going with the RC cars? You know what I mean?
Totally.
So I think we got Justin Smith on the line. What's up, Justin?
What's up, boys?
What's happening?
Well, I've been having a hard time holding together this freaking show, man. So Casey it was a complete surprise to me, but the Warfighter guys gave me the Perseverance Award this year.
that should be an annual thing given out to the biggest badass that you can come up with every year.
Yeah, so they do actually do it every year, and this year, fortunately, I was the one that got it. I mean, I don't want to be ever up for it again because you have to really persevere through it. But it was cool because the problem is I'm like acting like a little girl that just broke up with her boyfriend though, because I've been like super emotional about it because it kind of just stirs up some stuff with me because it really does mean a lot to me that everybody in the side-by-side industry supports the people so much.
Dude, can anyone honestly have any clue how much effort, work, and heartache and anything else? I mean, I could probably put 17 different adjectives that went into your recovery, and then to go and put that into a race the first time back. That probably brings up a whole nother list of things that you have to overcome mentally and physically to do, and then actually finish it. I mean, we were following you, and I maybe I shouldn't share this, but I'm gonna. The 1 mile from the finish, you knew you were finishing this race, and you broke down, and you were on the radio telling everybody, thank you so much. And we could hear it in your voice that you let it go. And it was so emotional for you to thank everyone that was involved as you were finishing this race, that we were above you and we actually lost it too.
No way, really?
That's awesome. Love it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. I mean, I looked at Dominic and he's welling up, and I'm over here, I'm dropping a tear, and Chase is in the back, like puking in a purple, puke bag.
He had a little bit of sickness.
Yeah.
Well, it was definitely emotional for me. I think I told you, but I told my crew, like when I was crossing the finish line, like that whole last straightaway, basically where you broke the rear axles, like I started crying from there, and it felt like by the time I crossed the finish line, somebody sprayed me with a freaking hose because I had so many tears on my face. I couldn't. I was like, I got to get it together before I get back to the truck.
We can laugh about it now, man, but that's a pile of an emotion. It's a pile of work put into a very short amount of time to finish, and I can't even imagine. I have no idea. I just was lucky enough to feel a piece of it, and it was badass.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, man. And I think the whole show is like tonight was based upon like the support mechanisms, right? So there's been some guys that did really well at the UTV World Championship. I feel like I did well. I even looked at some of the lap times and stuff, and even with the flat tire on the last lap, if I didn't have that tire, I would have been almost race winning speed, like with my fucked up head. So it was neat to be able to see.
I thought you killed it. I mean, we witnessed you pass 5, 6, 7 guys. You never got past. Nobody even got close to you. So you're keeping pace, and you're keeping pace for the first time out and the first time in a car. I mean, the first time back and the first time in a car. You don't have time in it. You got 30, 40 miles. That's nothing.
Yeah. Well,
and then on the second lap with a flat tire, nobody came up to you. It was amazing. We were so excited.
Yeah, it was cool. Awesome. And like I was telling Casey earlier, that it was neat just to have you guys following me around the helicopter. I felt like a rock star. So even if I got last place and sat out there and had you guys for a little bit, I would have still been totally happy.
It sure looked cool. That's for sure.
Yeah. So let's go back to the support mechanisms because I want to tie that in a little bit. So first of all, thank you very much for being a support mechanism for us during this project, winning at Life RS1 build, and then following up, taking us out and being part of your crew. And we got to eat and hang out with all of you and the Shock Therapy family. But then the next day, when it came race day for you, you took off your support hat and you started, getting your race face on. And it was really interesting to me to be able to see the difference in focus that I saw in your face, your demeanor, and the things that you had. You have such a fantastic team behind you that you were able to switch gears and put all of the focus into driving, concentrating on doing well in the race, the communication aspect. It was really, really cool to see because that's the first time I've ever seen such a professional race team in the pits. Thank
you for saying that. I'm so proud of my guys. They are the reason that we can do this. They really, really are. We have an amazing crew. I say it over and over and over again, and even though I do, it's not enough because we couldn't do it without all of our guys. They get along like their family. They act like their family. And I mean, like in talking smack, like brothers, and like, wrestling like brothers, and supporting each other. When one's down, the other one picks them up. That's pretty much our whole crew. And, we want to go to a race and we want to have fun. If it's not fun, we're not going to do it. But when it's race day, everybody puts on their hat, and it's the hat has a list of jobs on it, and they all are exactly on with their list, and they take it really, really serious. And so for them, I think it's only fitting that I can try and take my job as serious as I possibly can. Some people might, because I'm pretty talkative normally and pretty upbeat normally, but like race day, I pretty much wake up and I don't say much. I'm kind of quiet. I think about the pre-run. I think about everything as much as I can. I'm just pretty much concentrating on what's going to happen. And all the guys in the crew already know that. They don't even ask me anything. They don't ask questions. They don't even bug me. They just leave me alone. And I don't mean like in a prima donna way. It's more like a
business.
I think concentrating.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Some people like to be talked to
done.
the whole time. Some people like to concentrate.
Yeah. Like, and before the race, if we're sitting in like pit lane and maybe they're late, or we might sit there for an hour, I can probably fall asleep in the car. I mean, I'm not like nervous or wound up, but I'm just really just thinking about it heavily. That's kind of my thing, I guess.
Yeah, and I could tell that demeanor. It was like you switched into race mode or whatever. It was pretty cool to see though, because man, like you stuttered a little bit with your foot on the whole shot, but you still got the whole shot because you were so determined. So after that, it just seemed like, all right, focus, focus, focus. So it was all race business, we'll call it. Like you got out there, you started like really honestly, man, you were killing it. You guys were ripping. Take us through like the first, I don't know, lap and a half, 2 laps, because the speed that you guys were going, when I was sitting in the pits thinking about my race, I was thinking, how the hell are they going this fast on a course that is so brutal, beat up, and dusty?
So for us, it was really important to win that whole shot because we knew the race was all about dust. To have 40 cars on a 30-mile course, and the course has got, it's pretty much through a lot of washes or canyons, and so the dust isn't going to blow away. We knew that dust was probably the biggest factor, and we were starting mid-pack, so there's, 19 cars ahead of us. At least we didn't want to follow the guy that we started with immediately and lose a bunch of stuff. So we got real lucky, fortunate, we won to the first corner. How's that? I was slow off the line, but we ended up winning to the end, and kind of settled in real quick to a pace that was going to not get flats because the course is full of rocks, not roll a car because the course is nothing but rutted corners, easy to roll. And when you're dealing with dust, then those two things are a problem because you're following somebody, you can't see what's going on. You end up, hitting a rock and flattening a tire, ripping the front end off. We just didn't want to be that guy. So we figured that the first 2 laps were going to be kind of a cruise. And luckily, our first lap was only 2 minutes off the leader. We thought that was pretty good considering, the dust and people that we had to be behind. And second lap was a little bit slower. And it was because the wind that we did have died down and there was more dust.
Yep.
And our third lap, we tried to turn it up a bit. And I think that we ended up coming within 30 seconds of the leader's pace until we blew the axles out of the car. And it's hard to describe that. A lot of people have asked today, how'd you do that? They're RCVs, their biggest thing ever. We don't break them. We run them for 2,000 miles without an issue. But let me explain one thing real quick. If you shove an axle in a car and it's got on the power twist direction, axles twist about 90 degrees and they come back to their happy place. And as long as they're twisting in the same direction all the time, then they're fine. you take an axle out and you twist it, you spin it around or forget which side it was on the car, put it in backwards. You'll break it the very first time that you go around a corner and slam on the throttle.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
It's not flexing in the same
other
direction, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so we've got these big giant axles in the car, and they've been fine forever. I came into George, there's very few straightaways in this course, but it was one of the few at the very end that was like 75 mile an hour.
Right.
And it was almost like a panic stop attacking the corner. All the brakes you had for this right-hand corner. And we come into it, and the braking bumps are about a foot tall.
Yeah, and 2,000 pounds, 2,200 pound, 2,200 pound car.
Shit, I wish, bro. My car's like 2,650 pounds.
Holy
shit. She's a heavy sucker.
Yeah. So,
heavy. And then you got me and Jeff, and we are no lightweights.
And when he's talking about the braking bumps case, they're like Glen Helen motocross braking bumps times 10. They're huge. I mean, they've been beat up for 3 days of racing. Like for me, it was pretty gnarly. For them, they were after 2 more days of racing at the end. They were
especially at the end like that, where it's full brake. You're just cutting those things in. Yeah.
When he's talking about braking bumps, it's not like skipping chatter bumps. It's like braking bumps where the wheels leave the ground for 2 feet, 3 feet, and then smack the ground again.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Exactly, George. And so we went from 70 to 20, and in that braking section, it went pop pop, and out of that corner, it just revved up and had very little acceleration, and I thought it was actually the clutch. I figured, hey, we blew the secondary out of the sucker again. We got RPM and no mile an hour, and we're nursing it back. So we tell the crew, hey, throw a secondary on it, because typically we do blow up secondaries in braking bumps. And we get to the pit, and they pull the cover off. And before they got the cover off, they come over and go, hey, you got no axles in the back of this thing.
Yeah.
We had no clue. We drove it in front wheel drive for 1.5 miles. And one axle was completely gone. Like it had broke and exited the trans. And the other axle broke, and it was sitting there just spinning around, smacking the alternator side and water pump and exhaust, beating around that side. And we didn't even know it. I mean, it sounds like an idiot not knowing you broke axles, but we just didn't know. It just didn't do anything we wanted, and it felt like other things that we thought, like clutching.
Well, yeah, and then
the crew jumped on it.
You only had 1.5 miles though, too. So you only noticed that this error is happening for 60 seconds.
True, and the car still moved. It was just not moving very well and had a ton of RPM, like maybe it was a clutch. But the guys figured it out instantly. They jumped into gear. They ended up putting 2 axles on the car in 22 minutes.
Yep.
Nice.
I mean, if anyone's ever tried to do that, they know that's fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I was actually, and that's one of the things that sparked me to say that how good the crew was. So Darren was just like a freaking mad scientist over there. He goes, this. He had all of it lined up for all the dudes. Right when he saw it happen, he knew the next procedure, direction. And that's what made it so that the stop was so quick, because all of the guys followed his direction, just executed and made it so that it could happen and he could get back out there. We have it on video, and I think that Kenny, one of your media guys, got it on video too. It would be really cool for people, even though it's 12 minutes, it'd be really cool for people to see that type of work coming together. I don't know if you guys want to release that on social media or anything, but
oh yeah, we'll do it, man. I think that Chase is probably going to do it as like a fast motion, or and speed it up. But we'll show all of it. And if somebody wants to see the full length, we'll probably put that up there too. I'm super proud of them, man. They just jump in and they go for it. I mean, they were wrist deep in CV grease. That sucks. And it's hot.
Yeah, and my dad's been in the mechanical automotive industry for his whole life, right? And he was just like, I've never seen guys work that professionally together in such a quick amount of time. It was awesome to see. Like,
yeah, I can kind of picture it. It just sounds.
Yeah, I mean, like you always want to say compare it to F1 pit stops, right? But nothing can be compared to that. This is off road, and to see the execution, there was a guy sitting there replacing his front end, like tie rods and stuff, like what Ryan broke, upper arms and tie rods and stuff like what Ryan broke. It took him 2 hours. And they did it in 22 minutes for a whole axle set. Like, it's phenomenal.
Pretty insane.
We had a comment come in from John that said, so is the shock loading the axle? I think I can answer this, but maybe you'd be a better one to answer it, Justin.
Is the shock loading the axle? Is that the question?
So I think what he's saying, the shock always loads the axle, but you have the CV joints to take care of that, so it's moving up and down. What actually, in Justin's case, what broke the axle was the reverse force on the axles in those large braking bumps. So the metal was twisting one way.
Backwards rotation.
Yeah, backwards rotation. So the metal is flexible in one direction, and then when it becomes unflexible in the other direction, it just loses it, and it loses all its...
Pretty much pops.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how axles work. They're designed to twist a bit, and as soon as you twist in the other direction, they're gone.
Yeah, exactly. And the axles that he uses on that car are they're big axles, like Justin said. So the CVs and everything are made to last. So when you have a weak link, well, we won't call it a weak link. When you have a force like that in a reverse manner, there's nothing that you can do.
As I'm hearing you guys talk about it, I'm like picturing it's almost like they're heat treated that way from running. Like, it's obviously the twist, but I'll bet you there's a portion of heat in it too. I would.
Well,
bet.
when they break in,
you're sort of onto something, but I'll finish what you're kind of describing. So the material that most of these axles are made of, the best material ever, is 300M. 300M is both strong, slightly brittle, and flexible, and these are all opposites.
Sure. Yeah.
But
exactly.
the way 300M works, once it decides, or once it's been taught the direction to twist,
right, exactly,
it'll do that its whole life.
Sure.
But as soon as it goes the other direction, gone.
Right.
And so by bumping the axles, we basically tranny slammed the axles in reverse, 20 times into a corner, and snapped them. That's just it. Period. So, in other words, I can't panic stop a car through braking bumps.
That's the short version.
By definition, if you're coming in hot, you're panicked. So I'm not sure how to not do it.
Yeah, but that's just one of those things you live and learn, right? Like, it would have been better just to kind of roll off the gas and blow out the corner and then hit the
easy to say, right?
Yeah,
easy to say,
lesson learned.
If you can blow the corner, if there's not a tree, a car, or a cliff, then you can do that.
Exactly.
Crew chief.
Usually the corners are there for a reason, though.
My crew chief just chimed in and said, "What's up, too?" So we only got a couple of minutes left, Justin. So maybe take us through the last portion of the race.
So we left the pits with axles. We jammed off, and it was getting dark. We found out pretty quick that the charging system on the car had also failed. The reason that the charging system failed is the one axle that was sitting there smacking around had smacked the alternator and the stator cover and broke both of them. And so 8 miles later, we found out we had no charging system, and 16 miles later, we ran out of voltage in the batteries, and that car shut off, and we were done. There was nothing we could do about it, and no way to get out of it without a jump box or jump. And even though you jump the car, you're only getting about 3 miles before the thing shuts off. So we were done. Unfortunately, the guys really put in a ton of effort. To not finish is painful. At the time, when we came in with broken axles, we were top 10. When we left the pit with 22 minutes, we were actually 8 miles later, we were 6th because people kept braking. And when we lost the alternator, all the charging and everything, we were still about 6th or 5th. And that was coming into our last lap.
Yeah, and
so
they started
a good run going.
They started further back than that too, so they had made up a lot of ground. Man, like I said before, like I still can't get over it. And I was telling my dad, I was telling all kinds of people today when they were asking me about the show, and I go, dude, like I learned so much this weekend just being a fly on the wall, like just checking these things out, because it was amazing to see the prowess and the everything that people were doing in the pits. Like Justin seems fantastic, but there was a bunch of other teams that were doing a great job as well. Like I have never ever been. That's the first time, Justin, I've ever sat in the pits.
That's incredible, honestly.
Yeah, and I was like blown away at how awesome it was to see all those people doing all that stuff, man. It was freaking sweet. So, all right, man.
Well, I'll tell you what makes the pits amazing. it's time outside of it, and you were part of that too. You see how our team hangs out. They're all family, and they work the same way at the race.
Dude, we had so many bro conversations, and there was awesome.
Those are almost always what you take away from the event. Those dinners.
Yep.
In my experience.
Exactly.
Yep.
100%, man. Hopefully, the badassness of our team shows up in the next few races. The car is already torn apart, and we're starting our prep first thing in the morning. And we'll have that sucker done, and we'll be testing on Friday. So we're ready for Blue Water. Hopefully we can show up and show what we're worth.
All right, bud. We'll kick some ass out there, and I'll talk to you this week, I'm sure.
Hey, you guys have a good one, man. Have a great show.
You too, Justin.
Take
Thanks,
care.
man. See ya. All right, let's see if we can get Kaden on. So, Kaden, we were having a little bit of audio issues, so we might have to have you just call in, but let's try it and see what we can do. Okay, bud? So, I still can't get over it, how rad this this off-road industry is when they do this. Can you hear us, Kaden? Looks like we still can't hear him. I'm going to send you a phone number right now, Kaden, so you can just call in, okay, bud? Instead of doing the FaceTime call. We've been having some technical issues today, so I'm sorry that we can't talk to you on FaceTime. We're going to have you just give us a call, okay, dude? So, yeah, like I was saying, like I still can't believe that, first of all, that was the first time that I have ever been in the pits, but I still can't believe the awesomeness of all of those people. Like, you've told me a bunch of times, like Joe Whining has told me a bunch of times, like all the craziness that goes on in the pits, that people are waiting for the guys to come off course or whatever, and I've only been the driver, right?
Right.
Like, so I don't ever get to see that. It's pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah,
man.
definitely a different perspective.
So, Kaden, can you hear us, bud?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome, dude. Well, hey, sorry, man. We saw that you were on FaceTime. We saw that you got all spiffed up for us, but maybe we could just talk about your race this weekend, do the race cap over the phone. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So how was it coming back to California? Were you all amped up on the drive home because you did so well? You got, what, 2 third places this weekend?
Yeah, I got 2. I was super stoked. Really pumped. Wasn't really planning on racing both classes, but we did it. Happy with the finish. Now we got another finish to finish next week. We're racing twice.
Yeah, that's pretty badass, man. So what classes did you race?
I raced the Youth 570 and the Youth 1000.
Which one did you like better?
To be honest, the 1000. It was more comfortable. My shocks are a little stiff, so I was getting beat up a lot.
What about
And
like
I
in the? Because wasn't the course like way harder for the 1000?
They were the same courses, so I raced the 570 and already knew what I was going up for the 1000 because I went back to back. So I kind of got a view of the course before I hopped to the 1000.
Crap, you had to go back to back, so you got off one race and then just got in another car and raced again?
Yeah, I had like 10 minutes split between the races.
Dang.
Then I had to go.
Some Gatorade and a Red Bull?
What?
Some Gatorade and a Red Bull?
I was drinking some water. Rob was talking to me. Rob from Warfighter Made. He was clearing my head, getting me ready for the next one, just getting me mentally strong.
Dude, well,
awesome.
First, I'm going to have to like skirt the Rob thing because I'm still emotional about it. But if there's anybody to give a pep talk, it's Rob.
He's such an awesome.
I guarantee, like if I was sitting at the starting line and Rob was giving me a pep talk, I'd be like, dude, I'm going to go out there and win this bad boy. I'm ready to go.
I wish we could shoehorn him in right now.
Yeah, it would be cool. I'm going to give him a call after this, though. And
definitely.
Definitely. So what about...
like right after the race.
Right after the race, what?
Right after the race, he gave me a little pep talk, and right after everything happened, I was like, "Mom, what did Rob do? He cleared my mind or did something to me because
awesome,
it worked."
He's like a messiah, dude. He's like Mr. Miyagi for the racers.
Well, it just proves that he's doing what he's doing, but he's doing it for the right reasons. Like he just loves
to help other people,
helping people. End of story.
Yeah,
so cool.
It's pretty rad.
Great guy.
So maybe you could take us a little bit through the races. Like start with the 570 race, because where did you start at? Did you start up front?
I didn't start first row. It was a little bum. I started second row though, so we had a 60-second split. So from there on, I just had to charge. I couldn't really give up time. I was just pushing. I had to get by. The dust was gnarly. It was hard to get through, but I ended up making my way through. Got a few passes, and then we struggled with traffic and dust. Getting beat up, trying to make up all the time I could. It was just the dust really was thick, so it was hard to like get through, but I ended up getting through.
Yeah.
The dust got so bad in the line section that I ended up hitting a wall and flipping.
Oh, no way.
No.
Yeah, because I was in like dust where I couldn't even see my steering wheel. And my brakes got hot and I couldn't really do anything about it. I ended up hitting a wall, flipping, but I landed on my wheels. And we're good there, but I was beat up.
So, Kaden, in the RC car racing world, we call that a cheetah flip. You know how a cheetah flips and it always lands back on its feet? It ends up actually going faster.
Oh yeah, because you go over. Yeah.
Well, that was a wild ride.
Yeah, it was rough.
So
the track required a lot of focus.
What do you think of the dust though? Because like the dust when I was looking like on the race course trying to see through it, I couldn't even barely see my front bumper in a lot of cases. Did you have the same issues?
Yeah, I had issue, but over the years I've learned to like read the track from the different angles. So if I need to, I would go to the side to have a little more clear air. But we did pre-running, so the pre-running really helped. We had course markers, like when to watch out for stuff and like stuff like that.
See, I always think it's so interesting to see, like, because Justin Smith was talking about the same strategies and like the way they do it in the pits and stuff. And so Caden's like going out and laying all this stuff out. Like, obviously desert racing is different than short course stuff, but I've like never experienced this level of desert racing. It's pretty badass.
It's super cool. So many variables.
Difficult. I've learned over the years in like tight stuff whenever it's really dusty, in a sense, to read the walls and kind of see where they're going. And then we would have our markers, so I'd be like, okay, we're 50 feet from a corner. Start entering the corner now. And I kind of just like, we ran the course multiple times, getting used to it. It was difficult. It was very difficult, but we ended up getting through. It was rough, but we did it.
Yeah, dude, you did really well this weekend too. I saw you walking around the pits a couple times, but I wasn't able to watch your races because I was so busy working. What about the 1,000 race? Because it sounded like you didn't even get time to cool off. Rob just talked to you, and then you bailed out again on the race course.
Yeah, it was gnarly. It was a lot better in the 1,000. Suspension was a lot better, but I ended up losing my brakes first lap. I just have been having problems with brakes lately, so been diving in a little harder. So had issues with brakes, but I had clear air, so it helped. And then I didn't roll. It just found my marks easier and just got time to make up time.
Sounds like you're getting more used to the bigger cars too. That's pretty sweet, man. It's kind of graduating to the next level.
Yeah, this is the last year in the 570, then we're going to use 1,000 next year.
Woohoo! Are you stoked?
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm super happy. It'll be fun, smooth.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool to see you up there racing with the big dogs, man. So, what I was gonna ask was, obviously you did well at the races, but what was all the other stuff that you guys were doing? Because it sounded like you guys camped out, you got to hang out with friends, family, and you have like a really big support mechanism, which is awesome.
Yeah, we ended up camping on some BLM land, so we had like our own little area because no one really camped over there. So we got to ride pit bikes. We like had a good time. There was a cook there. Hung out with my friends, and yeah, we just had a good time. Kind of planning everything out, getting ready.
Dude, that's pretty cool though. What pit bike did you ride?
We ended up getting a new one for my mom, and she's really stoked. But I ended up riding that thing. It's pretty cool.
We got it from my mom, but I took it.
Yeah, stole it.
Yeah, and then I was riding a Dallas and Deegan Gonzalez.
Hey, were they riding that old pit bike that I had?
That's Anthony Gonzalez's.
Yeah. Oh,
we were riding that one too. Dallas's friend rode that one. That one's fast.
Oh, really? So I did a good job putting it together?
Yes, a really good job. That thing's scary. Like sometimes I walk over, I'm like, this one's too fast.
So I ordered a new one, actually. A 2021.
Really?
Yeah, like the whatever has fuel injected on it. So maybe I can come dice with you guys one of these days.
Is this by chance
Yeah.
Caden's mom piping in?
Yep.
I love it. She says, "You hear that? Story of my life."
Story of my life. The son's stealing the pit bike.
Stealing the pit bike. Yep.
Why you got to break your mom's stuff, dude? Going out there and getting all shreddy on it.
Yeah, I actually have a Suzuki 110, and I'm going to start building that one. Just trying to see how her bike is. I'm sure she wasn't too happy about it.
This is why we can't have nice stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what about your sister? Does she like riding pit bikes too, or is she not old enough yet?
She rides them. It's just not her thing right now. She likes riding quads and stuff. So that's like something that she likes to do. Is she rides horses.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Hey, so I was going to ask you, Polaris did a little sponsorship thing where they signed up 2 new drivers to be on the Polaris RZR race team. I think both of those guys were your friends, weren't they?
Yeah, Ethan Groom and Dallas Gonzalez both got it in the U1000.
That's pretty sweet. Are you proud of them?
Yeah, I'm super proud of them. Me and my friends actually have our own little team for the iRacing short course thing that we do. And we take it pretty serious with each other. It's called Team Chalupa, named after his dog.
Team Chalupa?
Nice.
We have our little team. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So every time we get our whole team ended up getting a podium this weekend, so we were all super stoked.
Hey, do you know what a real Chalupa is, not a dog?
I heard that, Brandon Sims thought that Chalupa, the Team Chalupa came from the Taco Bell.
Yeah, because
burrito or something.
a chalupa is a taco with a puffy tortilla.
Yeah, that's what he thought it was. And we're like, I didn't even notice that.
Yep, that's so. I'm really loving the team name right now, dude. It's awesome.
I'm getting hungry now.
Yep, right up my alley, dude. So you did really good this weekend. You got all that stuff. Did you have a good time talking with all your friends and hanging out? Did you get to see sponsors? Maybe take us through a little bit of what you guys were doing when you weren't out on the track.
Yeah, we had a ton of fun. We went through Tech. Tech was awesome. I ended up doing that thing. I wasn't sure if I should say it yet, but the thing that we did smarter than a third grader, I had a blast.
Yeah, that was pretty fun, huh? So Kaden and I went around and we did Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader with a few different drivers and industry people. And Kaden got to be the host and ask the questions and stuff. He came up with his own questions and everything. It was pretty awesome, dude.
Awesome. We got one of our loyal listeners and viewers, Tyrone Robinson's got a question for you, buddy. When you're not racing, what is your favorite thing to do?
When I'm not racing,
steal mom's pit bike.
I love going out to the desert.
Nice.
Definitely one of my favorite things to do.
So I'm basically thinking that Kaden just lives dirt life 24/7.
Sounds like it. Yep.
That's pretty cool, though, man.
I'm always consistently driving. Either it's the simulator with the steering wheel and stuff, training, going to the desert, racing. It's always with the steering wheel.
So when you're doodling in math class, like I did when I was your age, what are you drawing?
Yeah.
Turbo S's.
Turbo S's. Awesome.
Oh, really? So that's like your next level?
I don't know why. It's just an addition. It's just something I do as a habit. For some reason, I just draw Turbo S's.
So, we used to always draw dirt bikes, and you just drawing Turbo S's?
Exactly.
That's pretty rad. So, yeah. I think that you probably have a good sponsor being Polaris RZR since you like that so much, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I love Polaris RZR. I've been with them I've been having Polaris since day one. I always had one. Had the 170 2014, I think. And I've just been driving ever since.
Do you remember some of those questions and some of the answers that we got for Are you smarter than a third grader? Because, well, first of all, I feel like Jim Beaver is the best at that game ever because he totally nailed every question. But some of those questions, what was your funniest question that you thought or funniest answer that you got? I guess.
I was pretty surprised that he got the what was the biggest mammal, which was the whale.
I think I know that one.
I really didn't know that one either.
Do you remember any of the questions on there? You can ask me and Casey one right now.
Uh-oh. How's it going, Joey Showers? What's up, buddy?
I remember.
Don't make it hard.
What?
I'm not real smart.
What country was Justin Bieber from?
Oh, I know this one.
You can't throw pop culture at me, bro. I'm old.
All right. I'll buzz in. George, Canada.
Is that true?
I think so. Yes, I got it.
Winning.
Yeah, I got it.
You
Sweet,
got the whole
man.
shot.
So we should.
I remember one more.
Okay.
I think I have a few more, but how many holes are in a golf course?
Oh, Casey knows this one.
Casey.
Yep.
18.
Oh, okay. Casey got that one, man. He beat me on that one. What's the third one, the tiebreaker for the win?
Alfonso. Siri's listening to us.
Turn her off. You can turn her off. Just press a button. Do you remember what another one is so that we could get a tiebreaker for the win? There was a few of them on there that were pretty good. Don't ask us the one there was one question that was what are the 7 dwarfs names? Dude, that took forever.
My gosh.
Yeah, that was way too gnarly.
I remember walking away and that you guys were still thinking like.
Yeah, that was the question was way too gnarly.
He was over it.
Yeah, so Kaden just bailed out.
Yeah, I didn't know any of them.
What's another one so we can do a tiebreaker for me and Casey, or you just want Casey and I to tie it up?
What movie is Princess Fiona from?
Crap, I don't know what this one is. Oh, you know, because the girls, huh?
I do. And now Shrek, right? That's the big green dude.
Shrek.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. All right, good job, Case. Winner, winner.
Yay.
Casey starting off the week on a Monday with a big win, dude. On the show, Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader? Beat me. I think
that was definitely fun. It was fun hanging out with Mia, Lauren, and Jim.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Really great.
So I'm kind of feeling like maybe Caden's got a secondary option just in case his off-road thing, like he gets tired of it. He could be a
Jeopardy.
a game show host.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Hey, we got to do it some more though because we didn't get to ask enough people. I know Sierra Romo does it like she's really scared of doing it, so we definitely need to get her on. So who could she battle with?
Alfonso's laughing. He says George Sr. knew all the dwarfs.
Yeah, he did. He knew him. Who do you think Sierra could battle with?
Her dad, Randy Romo.
Okay, good. We're going to get the Romo. Okay, so schedule that, dude, because I got to drop off this RS1 at Craig Scanlon's in like 2 weeks. So let's line that bad boy up, dude. We'll do an episode of Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader in Southern California.
All right, let's do this.
Sweet, man. All right, well, hey, we got Mike Gardner's going to call in a couple of minutes. So first of all, you did awesome this weekend. Are there any fun things? Other than the pit bike riding, was there any other fun things that you were able to do? Like, did you see some of your friends that you haven't seen in a while because racing came back?
We all hung out. It was a good time. We ended up, Dallas Gonzalez has a Pro XP, so we drove that around blasting the radios. And so that was fun. It's always a good time.
That's pretty cool. Hey, we got one last question for you. Tyrone said, do you have any Baja 1000s in your future? I think you do personally, but is that some goal that you would like to accomplish?
It is a goal, and hopefully in a couple of years we'll be in desert.
Dang, dude, that's going to be pretty cool. Baja 1000 is a big goal to have, man, so keep that on your bucket list.
Yeah, it's a big goal.
And
it's on.
Keep doing good, though, man. You're doing good. All these little milestones that you keep achieving, man, you're doing really, really well. You doing good in school still?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive right now. I have straight A's, so trying to keep it up.
Look at you, bud. Straight A's, podiums.
He's mopping up the third grader reports or contests. So,
dude, big time. All right, Kaden. Well, please tell your family that we said hello and keep kicking butt, dude. You did awesome this weekend.
All right. Congrats on that Perseverance Award.
Thanks, man. I just figured it out. Like, I didn't even know what was going on, and then I started, like, almost crying and losing it on the show. So I got to call Robert after the show.
Me and my mom are like, it's George. We know it. It's George. We know it.
Awesome.
I didn't get to watch any of the Facebook stuff that was going on today because I was working so much, but that's cool. So I'm going to call Rob after the show, so that's cool, dude. Tell your family I said hello.
All right. See ya.
Later.
Take care.
Man,
thanks for letting us borrow him, Sarah. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. So thank you very much, Sarah. Yeah, so it was cool to see Kaden this weekend too. Like, honestly, it was really neat to see him hosting that How Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader, because clearly he's way smarter than like any of us are.
Yep.
So he was asking those questions, and I was like, shit, I'm glad I'm not a contestant.
I'm not in there, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was kind of cool, though, like what Alfonso said, that my dad knew all the
that's
dwarves.
funny.
Like, where does this information come from, though? Like, how do people store these things?
He did have a daughter, too.
That's true.
This is why I know Shrek.
Could you answer the dwarves?
I could do most of them, probably.
Really? Well, I know Grumpy.
Sneezy.
Oh, Sneezy? Sleepy?
Grumpy.
Is there like a smarty pants guy?
There should be.
Yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, it was really cool seeing Kaden. I think we got Mike Gardner is going to call in just a little bit here, so hopefully he remembers and doesn't just blow us off. But it really was cool to see everybody come back, man. Like, there was so many people walking around the pits, and I feel like we're doing a good job on the show, and I feel like, you know, people are into it. But when I went to the races and I could see people talking about it, and then I'd hear like our crew members say, hey, people notice the dirt life, or people notice that you were walking around or whatever, and people are excited. Like, it was really meaningful to see, not only because it's me, you know, they're happy that I'm back out at the races, but because they're paying attention to the stuff that we're doing as well. You know, they like hearing these conversations that we're having about off-roading or dirt bike riding or whatever it is. So it's pretty cool, man.
Well,
like,
and they're part of it, I think, is a lot of it, right?
Yeah, because everybody can join us and hang out.
They're part of that family, too. So I think it's got that's one of the reasons why it's got its little special place. I'll put it that way.
I guess it's kind of the same thing that we just talked about with Justin. Like, I learned so much because, you know, the track was an hour long, or roughly an hour long. So that means before every lap, I had an hour to talk with all the people in the pits. Yeah. So it felt like it was the same thing, right? We're talking to all these people just like we were sitting in the pits at the races and learning new stuff and just having a good time.
Right.
One of the things why we wait for Mike.
Doc, that's one.
Oh,
Thanks.
Doc. Yeah.
Thanks, John.
One of the things that I want to do a little bit more of, and I'd like to get some of our users' opinions on it while we're waiting for Mike Gardner, is I'd like to do a little bit more inspirational stuff, like see if we can do some segments with more like, I don't know, go-getting and motivation and stuff like that. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Well, we definitely need Robert for that one.
Yeah, we could use Robert Blanton for that one.
For sure.
So sounds like we got Mike on the line. What's up, Mike? How are you?
Hello.
Mike Gardner, can you hear us, bud?
Yeah, I'm trying to add you to FaceTime here, and I'm having a little bit of difficulty.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to. I think it's pretty much FaceTime just took a dump on us earlier. We are having issues with our broadcasting software, and I think for whatever reason, the host of the show needs to take some technical classes to be able to fix this stuff.
Maybe some more hours in the day.
Yeah, so let's just do an audio interview if that's okay.
Yeah, no worries, man. I like it.
So
how are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Good. And yourself?
Yeah, how about you, man?
Not too shabby.
You had an awesome weekend, that's for sure. I mean, all of us did.
Yeah, it was pretty eventful and exciting, fun, crazy, all the above. And congratulations, George, on the Perseverance Award, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. I just barely figured that out on the show. Like I told the other couple of people that called in, I almost freaking lost it. Like, I feel like a little girl crying. She just broke up with her boyfriend. Like, it's cool, though. I got to call Rob after this, though, and thank him. So it's pretty neat, and I got to get my emotions straight before I go to bed tonight, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty awesome, man. You definitely deserve it. I think a lot of people in the community are pretty pumped for you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'll have to check out social media. I wish I could have checked out social media today. I was just working so much. But, yeah, well, let's get back to what we were going to ask you about. So I had the first question was, where the heck was your wife, dude? She wasn't at the races?
No. So between our dog, Buckwheat, and my dad's two dogs, we couldn't really find anybody to watch the dogs, and she had to stay back and do dog mom duty.
Bummer.
But she was, yeah, I guess she was on the live feed for my whole race and giving everybody updates. So she was, I called her Weather Girl. She was playing Weatherman's role, but for the Gardner family.
So she was back with a good internet connection since none of us had service out there?
Exactly. So I guess she was like calling into my dad, like, he's in this place, he's this far behind the leader, he's this far in front of third, you know, all that good stuff. So she was actually a very crucial part of the team, even though she was home.
Yeah, that's pretty bitchin' though. Cool. And then obviously you have support mechanism too. So we've been talking about the support mechanisms pretty much this whole show with everybody. And one of the things that I noticed that with your team, I was talking to your dad while you were lining up to do your qualifying run on, what was it, Thursday, Wednesday, whenever it was. And
Thursday, yeah.
You had got like creeped up on the starting line, and for whatever reason, the car didn't want to start. And the winner of the desert class, Ryan Piplick, he actually went out and helped you fix your car.
Yeah, and to be completely honest with you, if he didn't, I'm not sure I would have been able to qualify. Like, I'm pretty confident we would not have got the car started. I am forever grateful for him for doing that. He's a pretty stand-up guy, Ryan.
Yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, because I didn't know who was working on your car. I just saw your dad out there, and I saw him bent over, like, messing with the fuel pump or doing whatever he was doing. And then he came back over the fence. I was like, no way. Like, holy cow, that's bitching. Like, dude, racers helping racers.
Yeah, so cool.
It's what it's all about. And you know what's cool about me and Piplick? So my first year pro, first race, first year, him and I got into each other on the track, and he ended up flipping over, and it, made him pretty upset, rightfully so. And we got in a pretty good argument afterward. And basically, it's great to see, like, you know, you can get into a little altercation, if you will, but at the end of the day, like, he's still a racer. He still respects it. He clearly has respect for me, and I have a bunch of respect for him. And he came up and helped us start. And like, ever since the situation, him and I have been totally great the last 4 years since the day it happened. But it's really cool to see like the racers come together and do something like that. You know, like my hat goes off to that dude. And then he went and won. So I was so pumped for him. That guy's a beast in a car.
Dude, he was wooded when we saw him. Like, he was just ripping. I can't believe, like, we were thinking, like, when we saw him pass by, we're like, dude, when is he going to break? Because he's going way too fast. Like, but he held it together like a boss.
He's an animal, man. You should be on the track on a works course with him. Like, I mean, this is my first desert race, and I haven't had the opportunity to race against him there, but on a works track too, I mean, the dude is a savage in a car. It's unbelievable how well that guy can drive.
Yeah, it's pretty bitching to see. And yeah, and that was my first time ever being in the pits and like kind of like being the desert guy too. So it was pretty neat to be able to see. Well, let's get a little bit more into your weekend then. So the weekend actually started out good for me understanding how your program was working for two reasons, because you and I both got the same opportunity to drive an SMG Motorsports vehicle because of Craig Scanlon. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I could go into how it all unfolded if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, let's definitely. But the second thing that I wanted to say, so we'll do two things so you can talk about both of them, is that both of us went to the races with our fathers for the first time in a long time.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. Go figure, huh? We're both in a Scanlon ride, and we're both out there with our dad. That's the way to do it.
Awesome. Yeah, so I thought both of those things were pretty cool. And then obviously I talked to your dad for a while, so it was just neat to have that all camaraderie thing. But I mean, all of it turned out very, very similar.
Yeah, no, and it's when I saw you post about it, see, I went about my program completely different than you. I saw you doing all these race updates, or not race updates, sorry, but like project updates, you know, and I thought that was pretty cool. So you could follow along with the story of how you made it to the race. And when I did it, I was telling Craig and everybody, like, I'm not saying a word to anybody. I'm just going to show up like a week before, you know, on social media and just drop the ball on everybody. So it lasted a little bit, but you know, I had to talk to quite a few sponsors to get some support. So I think it leaked out a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I'm not Kim Kardashian. I don't think anybody really gives a hell what I'm doing. But it was funny. We both got the same opportunity and went about it in two different fashions. And I really like what you did. I thought it was fun following along the project.
Well, I kind of wanted to follow yours, but when I saw the end result and the rap and stuff, dude, you killed it too, though, man. It was pretty awesome. And there's one more thing that's a culmination of all these things. Like, so those two things happened, and I wanted to bring up those two things before I brought up this last subject, because we still want to talk about your race, but you and I both got an opportunity from Craig Scanlon, and those opportunities didn't come because we planned them or anything like that. We kind of just fell in both of our laps. And if anybody that's listening to the show doesn't know, what fell into laps last year was Mike lending his razor to Brett Carpenter, who saved my life on course. And so all of these things come together, and then Craig pays back both of us. It's like, like I don't know what you ought to call it. Like, it doesn't matter if you believe in destiny, fate, or anything like that. These things happen for a reason. It was it was so cool for me to see Mike sitting there on the course knowing all this stuff, and then seeing how awesome it was to talk to his dad for the first time and how much his dad cared about him, how much my dad and my family was supporting me. All of it to me was just like warming my heart up all weekend. It was awesome.
For sure. I'll bet.
Yeah. And, you can take it even a step further. Something else we have in common. We both had raced the championship. Had you raced it before that? Or was that your first year racing it in 2000? When was that? Last year, 19?
Yeah, I've actually raced every single year.
Oh, okay.
So
you have to excuse my memory.
No worries. You flipped over a couple times. I'll excuse it.
A couple. But yeah, I was going to say that the last time you raced the championship, and then in 16 was the last time I raced, both of us crashed out and weren't able to finish the race. So that was another kind of coincidence that you and I have.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So, and all these things, the main moral of the story, or the point of the story, was that it warmed my heart when I saw you on the track, when I was talking with your dad. So many of these things that people don't really get to understand, because they go to the races and it's just win, 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 go, 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 strategy. Yeah. But there's so much depth to every single team that's out there. Your wife sitting at home still supporting you, your dad taking the time to get off work to be able to build the car with you. All of these things that come together are so meaningful to every person out there.
No, you nail on the head, man. And I appreciate the kind words, getting the warm feeling seeing me on the track, because I feel the same way with you. For you to bounce back in a year and be out there doing the race that potentially could have killed you, I mean, that's a huge thing. And it was crazy. So my dad went up and talked to Brian from Rigid, which is who you were standing next to. And I'm in the car sweating my ass off and can't really function. And Dad comes up to me and he goes, "Yeah, I was just chatting with Brian." I go, "Did you see who was next to him?" He goes, "Who?" I go, "That's George." And he's like, "From the World Championship?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "Holy crap, I need to go say hi to him." I'm like, "Go." And he was just as excited to say hi to you.
That's pretty cool.
Because he obviously knows your story. He didn't technically own Danielle's car, but he's the one who's always prepped and maintained Danielle's car. So in a roundabout way, our whole family was involved in, your tragic incident. And, my dad's a very caring guy. Him seeing you, I think it made him a little emotional.
Dude,
so it was,
how all these
cool
dots
we were all out there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, how all these dots connect is just phenomenal, right?
Super cool.
All right, so the room's getting a little heavy, but I love you for all that stuff. So let's start talking about your race. So the qualifying, you kind of told me in a text message how you did in qualifying, but maybe take our audience through it a little bit, because it wasn't just go. You missed your qualifying position. You had to wait a couple minutes, and they gave you a 5-minute window to be able to still start qualifying. So you guys were under some duress before you got the car going.
Yeah. So, to start it off, I think we were waiting in line in 100-degree weather for about 3 hours to qualify, maybe 2.5.
Ouch.
All I know is I was sweating nonstop, and car dies one time, and Dad rolls over the 4-seater. We jump start the thing. inch forward. They're letting people go. And then we're literally the second people on the line. We have one person ahead of us that's getting ready to qualify, and then it's my co-driver, TJ, and myself, ready to rip. I hit the gas to scoot up, and the freaking car dies.
Oh, no.
And I'm just like, dude, we've been sitting here for this long in this damn heat, and this is going on? So I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, getting back to the spiritual thing and destiny and all that, I overthink things like this.
Yeah, like, what
think,
the hell?
What is God trying to tell me right now? Like, I'm already questioning if I'm making the right choice being at a race again. But then, like weird little things happen. I play mind tricks on myself. So then Dad's we're trying to figure it out. And Pip hops over the fence and he's telling me, do this, do that, do this at the same time, ready, go. And then it starts turning over. I'm like, holy crap, dude. He's like a mad scientist.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was watching it. I was like, dude, where did this come from?
Yeah, I mean, the guy is smarter than hell. I can give him that. And then we kept trying, and then boom, it fired. Well, sorry, I skipped the part where 10 people passed me when we're trying to start the car.
Yeah, because you had to stage late.
Yeah, so now we are literally the last people in line, and the flagger comes up and goes, "I will give you 5 minutes." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, just add the pressure. I could use some more sweat." So,
start the clock.
Yeah, so we go, and it probably took 3 minutes once the last person had gone, and we had been working on it for probably 15 minutes up to that point. And it freaking fired, and I'm like, holy hell. And I told TJ, at least I thought I told TJ, I go, hold on, because this is going to get wild. Because I'm not effing around right here. So they freaking waved the green flag, and I took off like a bat out of hell. And I drove that car so damn hard and into corners so damn hard. But obviously there's those crests and those hills and crap that I don't know what's behind. Excuse me, I burped. Excuse me again. Sorry about that.
You're good.
So no, but we did a sight lap 3 hours ago, but that was useless. I might as well have done the sight lap 6 years ago. So we just flying by the seat of our pants, and we put down a pretty bitchin' run, I thought. But apparently, I read results, and it said third place. And then hours later, we got an email at like 9 saying we qualified 6th out of the 22. And I was like, well, 6 ain't that bad.
No, dude, especially after not having any seat time for so many years.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. That's kind of what Danielle was saying to me. He's like, dude, you haven't raced a car in years. And I'm like, I don't care. I came out here to have fun, but if I'm going for it, I'm still going for it. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure you were the same way when you race. It's like that competitive edge is still there.
Yeah, I was a little bit more timid. Like, I didn't go as crazy as you. Like, I was a little bit more timid during the race because I was skeptical on how my body would react or perform, I guess you could say. But I noticed that I did the same kind of things. The same mentality kicked in after the race. I was looking at lap times, and I was like, shit, if I didn't get lost, if I didn't get a flat, like, if I didn't do this, like, where would I have been? Like, same kind of stuff.
Yeah. For sure, you're a racer. I totally get you being timid, though. I mean, coming back from something like that's a big step you took.
So you just went out there and got like 6 isn't bad though, dude. Like, how far were you off the leaders?
I think 3 seconds. Don't quote me on that because I'd hate to be wrong, and I'm sure I am. But
still, dude, that's pretty good.
It was only a few seconds. But, I mean, and let's be honest, like, how hard I thought I was driving, I was like, dude, I got to be in the top 3 because I was driving the shit out of Craig's car. But,
drive it like you borrowed it.
Again, yeah, right? There's those crests and hills and stuff that obviously I didn't remember was behind them, so I had to brake. I don't know. If I got a few more qualifying laps, I probably would have done better. But hey, it is what it is. I still had a damn good time.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, now that you mention it, driving the crap out of Craig's car. So, did anything happen to Craig's car when you guys raced? Like, are you giving it back to him in the same condition you borrowed it from? Did you have to sign a rental agreement?
Get the insurance?
Yeah,
well, we have a little bit of work to do on it. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I gotta clean this bad boy up too. Made sure I messaged him. We lost a fender. We got all flat tires now, so we're giving them away to some of our listeners. And somehow I have no idea how it happened. We mounted the antenna on the roof. I didn't roll over, but the antenna got bent backwards towards the hood. So that's another thing. Yeah. So I was just wondering what happened to your guys' rig.
Well, on the 5th lap, we were 5 or 6 miles to the finish, and
it was a 5-lap race, right?
Smoked the boulder. Yeah, 5-lap race. We're on the 5th lap, and we're on like between the 23rd and 24th mile, so we were almost done with the lap. And
27.9 miles.
Lost both.
No, 29.7.
Yeah, is that what it was? 29. Yeah, and I just freaking smoked the wall, like a rock wall or a boulder. Excuse me, I burped again. But immediately it's like, oh shit, what just happened? And then, oh shit, I got a flat. And then, I think I got more in the flat going on.
Crap.
And I pushed it. Well, I take that. Yeah, I take that back. It was, that happened at like mile 20, and we stopped at mile 23.5. So Dad looks out the window. He goes, yeah, the race is done. The tire was like flat on the ground sideways.
Oh, no.
I was pushing the thing around like a ski sled.
Plowing the field.
But, yeah, exactly. So we just parked it right there. And I think that was like 7:10 at night. And we had a little camping sesh out in the desert for a few hours until they came and got us.
Yeah, and then but beforehand though, like you had a different co-driver start, and I think the co-driver wanted to get out, or your dad wanted to get in. Like, what was because you guys were ripping at the beginning.
So yeah, as you know, the track was brutal as hell. So we lap 1 it was bad, lap 2 it was worse, lap 3 was pretty brutal, and my co-driver TJ. He, about halfway through the 3rd lap, he started hurting pretty bad. he was having some back issues, all kinds of issues. And he goes, dude, I think I want to radio your dad to suit up and hop in the car. I'm like, hey man, whatever you want to do. And then of course, like moments later, my dad radios like, just so you guys know, you're only a minute and a half off the leader in 2nd place. You're a minute and a half in front of 3rd. Like, you got this. And now TJ's over there freaking stressing himself out, playing some mind games. Like, crap, what if I make him get out? Or what if I make him pull in so I can get out and he loses? And I go, dude, we did not come here to win. We came here to have fun. I don't give a hell. If you need to get out, get out. My dad will get in. And honestly, my dad would love to get in.
Yeah, he'd be all
so, yeah. So we decided, and as we come over that hill that had, the little finish line thing that we were jumping,
that
little crest, dropped out in the pits, and TJ unhooks his helmet, and they freaking, Ronnie Anderson, Cole Keats, and all JD Marsh's crew, we were all pitting together, and they freaking picked up TJ out of the car and set him down. He couldn't even stand up. They had to hold him up.
Dang, so he was
that beat.
It was hurting.
Yeah, but that means he was pushing it, like he was going for the win. That's cool.
He was beat up pretty bad. The poor guy felt really, really bad. And he's like, the thing about him, dude, he's a beast. Like, he's not going to do anything. He's not going to give up at anything, especially because he will hate to get ridiculed for it. So for him to actually pull over and get out of the car, knowing that Craig's going to give him shit, knowing that my dad's going to give him shit, knowing that Mitch Guthrie Sr. is going to give him shit, and he still got out. So I know he had to have been hurting really, really badly.
But but your dad got it. Your dad got in. You guys had a pretty good time until you smoked that rock.
Yeah. So Dad hops in, we strap him down, and he's 60 years old. So I go, Dad, the first mile first 3, 4, 5 miles, they're really effed up. So get ready. And I don't plan on going slow. So we were hitting the chatter bumps, and I could hear him over there going, like, because the bumps were like squeezing the life out of him. And I go, "Are you all right?" And he just gives a thumbs up because this is awesome. This is awesome.
Sweet. So, I have to look through the footage, but I think I have most of the stuff that you described on GoPro.
Oh, really?
I was standing in the pits.
As far as like all the chatter bumps and stuff?
No, not the chatter bumps. In the pits, all the TJ getting out, your dad getting in, rooting you guys on.
No way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. I'll look at it. Because I sat there and filmed you. I sat there and filmed you guys the whole time. I even gave you a fist bump. You were just too focused.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Super focused. Maybe he couldn't see still from all the dust in his corneas.
Yeah. You had too much dust in your face still.
Kidding. I'm still coughing because of that freaking weekend.
Dude, it was pretty gnarly. Hey, so we just had a question come in, and honestly, I don't know if it's for me or you, but it'll match both of us. So Tyrone Robinson says, has this lit a fire for you to race competitively again? My answer is yes, I like racing competitively and stuff like that, but I'm just going to go out and support everybody. I'm having a good time being part of the side-by-side industry, so that's my answer.
Absolutely.
What about you?
My answer would be occasionally. I will not. I don't think I have it in me to dive deep like we had for that 5-year stint that we really got after it racing.
You were getting after it pretty hard too.
Yeah, we were full on into it, man. Like, it was great, but it's, as you know, man, it's a lot of time and a lot of money.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe if Craig gives us the opportunity to do one race a year, we'll both do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of on that same page. Like, it would, we have to get like a 4WP SMG half retired contract going on.
Perfect.
One race a year.
Old guy vintage class racing 4WP sponsorship.
Yeah, no kidding. But I mean, it's funny because how brutal the track was. The next day driving home, we were already talking like, okay, what are we gonna do? Because I mean, not like let's go buy a car and race, but it's like I now have a little bit of a hankering to be competitive. So I do not like the fact that I've raced the World Championship twice and crashed out twice.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, next time you're going to have to bring it home. I don't disagree with all those statements, though, because we had the same kind of gut feelings and stuff. Like, I guess it's just that natural racer in us, and even with our dads and stuff. Like, my dad and I were driving home, and I didn't even bring it up, but he was like, "Well, what's do you want to do next?" And I'm like thinking to myself, like, "Let's slow down. Like, let's pull the reins back here a little bit before we do this."
He sounds like my dad.
I just thought of the name of your guys' part-time teams.
What?
Right? It'll be Scanlon's Angels.
That has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, doesn't it?
That would be pretty funny. Yeah, so it was cool though that you guys had such a good time, man. And honestly, it was just cool that Craig gave us both the opportunity to do that. Like, I finished the race and I had a great time. I didn't win or anything. I think we got a top 10 or something. You were obviously hauling the mail and having a great time with your dad and TJ and stuff. And obviously Danielle even had a good time and she wasn't even there. So like all of that is so meaningful, man. Like when you went to work today, how did it feel? Were you just like, yes, like how much fun was this weekend?
It's funny because I work with my dad and we're literally sitting in a truck next to each other for like 8 to 10 hours a day. And most of the discussion today revolved around racing. In a perfect world for him, he'd buy Bradbury's desert car and we'd race every race from this weekend on.
Oh,
if it was up to him, that's what we would do. And I have to, like you said, I have to pull his reins back and be like, nah, you have to calm down. Dee and I are trying to have a kid, kind of. And, I'm kind of on that point, in that point of life where it's like, every now and then if we can make it to a race, sure, but we gotta focus on business and family and you know how it is.
Life, dude. It's called life, yeah. But we can still live our dirt lives too. So
Tyrone calls it a legends class.
Yeah, so Tyrone's calling it the legends class. I like that name, dude.
That's legends class. I love that.
That's a good ring. So we'll tell Craig we'll be part of his legends class.
Hashtag SMG Angels.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So all right, man. Well, like I said, dude, it was really cool seeing you back out there. Obviously, there were so many dots that connected that just made it meaningful for everyone that was there. I just thought it was super cool for everybody to be there. Like when I left the track, I kind of felt, well, here, put it this way. We went back home to the Airbnb that we had. I had an 18-hour day on Saturday filming and doing all that stuff.
Took a 3-hour shower.
No, we actually went back. We had something to eat and we just rested, right? And then so the next day we got going. And for the previous 6 days, we had gone from the Airbnb to the track. And when we passed by the track, like to go back to Arizona.
Like wrong? What's wrong?
Yeah, I was like sad. I was oh man, like what? I can't see her because like I felt like I was leaving all my friends and family behind. You know what I mean? Right. So then I got stoked on the show and like it was just cool, man. Like those emotions are so meaningful, and I know that you and your dad driving around the truck just felt the same way today.
Absolutely, and you know what's crazy? The same thing for you happens. I'm sure it's like you've been out of the racing. You know, we'll call it the racetrack for a year, me a couple years. And when you're in it, it's like all your people, your race family, your friends, like, it's like you never skipped a beat. You're shaking hands, you're giving hugs. How you been? What's new? Like, to me, like I used to always say, the works races were so much fun. And it wasn't because of the 45-minute race that we did in the weekend. It was because of everything outside of the race.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Like the camaraderie. Just mingling with everybody, catching up, having a beer. Like it's that I do miss that a lot. Like I love running into Brett Carpenter. I saw him there. He's wearing his bandana or his mask, and I gave him a bear hug, dude. Like,
yep.
I don't get to see him all the time. I consider him a great friend, but I don't get to see Brett that often. And dude, he's one of my boys. Like just seeing him and I don't know, seeing everybody, Lauren that used to work at Muzzy's, like it's really good. It's good being back in that scene and, you know, catching out with people.
So
I love it.
I think we played, Kaden played Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader with Jim Beaver and that Lauren dude. Cause I didn't know who Lauren was. It was, what company is he with now? I forgot what the name of it was. Do you know?
I don't know who he's with now.
He kind of looks like Rob Muzzy a little bit. No, a little taller.
Yes, he's got a little bit of that stash.
So they played. And I don't know Lauren, and I'm not bashing on him, but he was horrible at the game, dude. He was terrible. So you have to give him some shit because Jim put a beating on him. And Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader?
Really?
Yo, dude, it was
Lauren's
bad.
Such a good dude too. He was probably having a blast doing it.
Oh, he was. But the questions that Kaden was asking him, oh man, Jim tore him up.
Was he asking some hard questions? I played Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader with Craig's kid, and he whooped my ass.
These questions were significantly hard. Like, who are the seven dwarfs? Like, all kinds of hard stuff, dude. What country did Justin Bieber originate from? Like, dude.
Well, that's Canada.
Yeah. Well, see, you're already ahead of right there. Yep. So, all right, man. Well, we got to wind down the show a little bit here because we've been on for 2 hours. But, man, it was good seeing you this weekend. I'm so glad that you had a smile on your face when you left, even facing that adversity. It's killer to see you back out there.
Thanks, brother. And same to you, man. It's good to see you back out there. And I have a feeling that we're both going to get out there again soon.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. And even before that, I got to come to California and drop off this RS1 back to Craig. So maybe we can go grab some food. Tacos.
You tell me when.
All right, homie. It'll be in the next couple weeks.
I'm literally about 20, 25 minutes from Craig's house. So
right on, man.
You let me know when you're in town.
Sounds good. You better know a good taco shop, and then we can dial it in.
Oh, dude, we got a great place by us called El Ranchito. They have the goods and a great margarita, too, if you like margaritas.
Sweet, dude. Sounds good to me, Mike. Well, I appreciate it, man. And please tell the wife we said hi and my new friend, Brian Gardner, as well.
Will do, man. Good chatting with you guys.
You too, bud. See ya.
Take care.
All right, take care.
Bye. So,
speaking of Angels, Jeff Angel says Vicky says hi.
Yeah. So, and he said he had a good time this weekend.
Yep.
He said the same thing that we said at the beginning of the show. Like,
did anybody else have a helicopter follow? Nope.
I felt like such a superstar having those guys, the helicopter follow me around. So, Alfonso, my media guy, is going to call in just a bit here so we can talk to him and wind down the show. We'll kind of go through a little bit of the stuff that I did during the race and just have a good time with the show, man. It was crazy to see. Like, I don't know how to like put into words. I've said it 10 times on the show how awesome it was to see everybody and how emotional I was all weekend because I was so happy. It was just badass, man. Like, I couldn't believe how much fun we were all having standing in the dirt. Like, it was so cool. So,
so let me interject. So all that emotion, right, and all the people and all the community coming together, and then you had a great time, and then it's all over, and then the whole industry as a whole comes back and says, "Hey, with Robert, you're the man."
That's probably why I started like almost. I'm still cool. Like I gotta wait till I talk to Rob.
Yeah, you need a minute. I'm sure that's awesome.
Alfonso, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Dude, we're doing good, man. This show's been a little bit different than the normal shows. We haven't had a featured guest. We've just been talking about racing, and then obviously I got a little broken down already on the show, but it's cool, man.
Nice surprise.
Nice surprise. It's been pretty neat. So we were supposed to talk about at the beginning of the show, kind of break down our race weekend a little bit. But so for anybody that doesn't know who Alfonso is, he's done a lot of media stuff for The Dirt Life. He's done some of the filming for the Honda off-road stuff, and we did a shop tour with those guys. He's helped at the races, obviously at the UTV World Championship, and he's been a big supporter of the show. So it's cool to have that Dirt Life camaraderie and stuff. What did you think about going to the UTV World Championships, bud?
Man, it was so intense, but at the same time, it was really cool to see everyone in the industry just rally around you, man. Like, I know you broke down earlier, but man, it was really cool to get an inside perspective of just the industry rallying around a great guy like you.
Well, thanks, man. And just to get an inside perspective of the industry in general, right? Because, like, you go out to the desert and you do a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you spend your life in the dirt all the time. But what do you think about just being at the racetrack?
It was pretty intense, man. It just, like, seeing all the parents getting their kids' cars ready and just seeing, like, when something goes wrong, how fast everyone rallies around and just gets the car dialed if they can and get it back out on the race course.
Yeah, what about, like, the intent? Yeah. What about the intensity of, like, the drivers and the pit crew and stuff like that? Did you get to see most of that stuff too?
Oh yeah, definitely. And when Shock Therapy owner called earlier, sorry, I'm fanboying, but when he called earlier and just was talking about how race day he just stays focused, definitely. If I'm ever racing against that guy, I do not want to be on any other team besides his.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want Justin chasing you, right? So he actually, him and his team did a good job. I didn't see any of the guys that were in the pits during my race, obviously, because I was out there. But was there a lot of intensity there too?
Your pits, we were more just checking in and making sure everything was going right. We were just excited to have you back out on the race course and trying to keep you focused on winning at life and making sure you were making positive progress.
Yeah, and positive decisions instead of weird ones. So, I guess we could kind of go into that and get your opinion on some of the stuff. Like, so basically my race started off, like, our game plan was just to wait, let everybody go. It was going to be super dusty, super rocky. Like, I didn't want to have to get out and change a tire. I didn't want to have to do all these crazy things. So I was just going to go about it with a relaxed pace, a relaxed environment, right?
Just finish, right? That was probably what was in your mind?
Just to finish. Yeah, I mean, if we could do good, then we would do good. But finishing was the main goal.
Right.
And the track was so gnarly that it was hard to finish anyways.
Absolutely.
So we went out there, and then so I stayed back, and I let everybody go. And the first, like, 8 miles, 9 miles, I couldn't see anything. Like, I had the microfiber in my hand, and I was like windshield wiper wiping. Like, I didn't even grab the steering wheel. I was wiping so much, and I couldn't see anything. And I got passed by a couple dudes, and then Justin from Shock Therapy actually caught up in the helicopter and found out where we were. And then so he started following me around. And
did he blow the dust away for you?
I wish. That would have been super cool. But it kind of gave me that whole little like happy feeling, right? Because I was stressing out so hard. I'm like, dude, if this is the way the whole race is going to go, I'm just dipping out. Like, this is like not fun. It's too dusty.
Right.
And then so like when that happened, it was like that little edge that I needed.
Does it almost feel like another partner was like, hey, I got your back? Is that kind of what it felt like?
Maybe that's what it was. Like,
I could totally get that feeling. That sounds awesome.
It just gave me that happy feeling. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it is time to show, like, to step up a little bit and, like, to start reacting to the terrain and doing these things. And so I started moving up a little bit and, like, putting a little bit more effort into it. I passed a few people, and then, like, right as I passed those people, and it's been about maybe a couple miles since I saw Justin, finally I got clear track and I could see for like a little bit in front of me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going. Like, This is it. Like, I can handle this. And so I started going, and then I started feeling how good the car was working, and I was like driving pretty good. My vision still isn't there. Like, I can't react as quick as I was, and my brain doesn't think as quickly as it used to and stuff like that. But I was making good decisions. Like, I was driving better than, say, I don't know, a normal person would get into a race car, couldn't drive that good. And I'm not saying that because a normal person can't drive good, but I felt good. Like, I want to compare it to me not being a good race car driver anymore, but better than a normal person. Like, that's how I felt, like in the middle. And so I was thinking, all right, well, if I can do this, like, and I'm seeing a little bit of this dust, like, if it's clear, I'll try. And so I started going a little bit.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Yeah, and I think I was telling you guys on the radio, like, I'm passing this mile marker and I feel pretty decent or whatever. Like, so could you hear the communications in the pits?
Yeah, no, definitely. Where we weren't in the pits. We were up on the finish line, me and Brian Forster, and he would call every couple minutes to your dad to see what the updates were. That way because we only had the 2 radios, but once the shock therapy guys started chasing you in the helicopter, we could tell exactly where you were the whole time.
Oh, so if I was moving or whatever?
Yeah,
you could see the helicopter.
Like,
so
everyone knew where you were at that point.
How cool is that?
That is pretty cool.
It really is.
It felt. I didn't know that until.
Well, if you think about it, it was almost like I'm building. I wasn't there, right? And I don't know too much about it, so I'm kind of like constructing this visual in my brain. And all of a sudden, I'm now seeing this whole industry who's like pumped that you're out on the track. Right? And check this out. There's like an exclamation point of you driving around.
Oh, like a Sims exclamation.
How cool is that? Like,
that's what it felt like.
Yeah, I'm pumped. It sounds super cool.
And and then so I kept going, and I could see that, like, the bumps and like a lot of the stuff. I mean, the car was amazing. The suspension was amazing, but just even the rough track and the dust and stuff, it was still messing with me though. Like,
sure.
It's one of those things, like, you don't know until you know. Like, you don't know what your body can handle until you put it through that.
I hate that statement, but it's so true. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't know until you know.
And during the time, like, I was like, oof, this might not go too good. Like, I got to keep pushing, and I'm not going to stop, but this might, like, I might have some issues. But we're just going to have to push through it and see, because if I don't, then I'm going to feel like an idiot.
Right.
So I just keep going. And
100%.
Yeah, and I think I may have said that a couple times on the radio, but anyway, so I'm going down the washes and stuff, and so I'm taking my time though, because I'm like, okay, I got to keep my composure. So I would lift up my my visor on the helmet. I would take deep breaths. I would like shake my arms out. I would kind of like move my head around to try to stretch my neck a little bit with the neck brace on and stuff. But so I was trying to maintain my composure, and I freaking get lost.
Oh no!
Yeah, so I miss
like off course, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and it was down a wrong way area too. So like one of the guys before us must have blown out the course markers.
Got it.
So and the main line led off somewhere else, and then so I get lost, and then I see a dude coming towards me, so that means he's lost. And then so I see, like, I turn around to go back to find the track, and then 4 or 5 other dudes join in and they're lost.
Oh no.
So there's all these idiots, including myself, driving around in the middle of the desert, no idea where to go, and there's other guys coming still. So now there's like probably 10 dudes or something that we're all cruising around in the desert, no idea where to go. And then finally I'm able to get like I go all the way back like a mile, and then I go straight and I just go super slow, and I finally figure out where to go. And by the time this was done, it was 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Like I was gone for a long time. And then everybody follows behind me and we all get going. But the good part about it was that since I found it first, I dusted all the people out behind me.
Did.
So
Nice.
I gave them the dust.
Smoke screen.
So then I called in and talked to, Alfonso, Brian, my dad, and Brian Forrester, and said, okay, I'm going back again. So that was pretty cool. What were you guys like? Oh, he's on the course again?
Well, so Forrester called your dad and was like, hey, so like, what's going on? Like, we haven't heard any updates. Like, oh, he's lost. And we're like, oh no, like, how do you get lost on a race course? And then a couple minutes later, about 10 minutes, like you're saying, we got word that you're back on course. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I was pointed in the right direction. Let's keep this train rolling.
Yeah, so I thought the same thing too. I'm like, all right, I got to get going now. So
imagine this one, April. We're up is. Sorry if I butchered the name. She said my daughter got lost too. My husband and I were nervous wreck. She's only 13.
Yeah, see,
so would just kill you.
Yeah, well, I was a nervous. I had no idea where I was going either,
Right.
so I could only imagine.
Yeah, being 13 and.
So anyway, so I got going again, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to go. Like, I'll see how it goes. And so my pace was actually pretty decent. Like, we were clicking off miles and, like, going pretty good. And then we came around for the first lap, and I'm coming through the pits, and, like, the pits are, like, a straight line, and then you hang a right, and then you pass another section of the pits. So it's like a L kind of, but you get to see everybody. So the first time I go through the pits, I see all these people come out to the edge of the track and they're cheering me on.
Nice.
Like, so that was like another like motivator.
We're here for you.
Yeah.
How
like
cool is
cheerleaders,
that?
right? So
Yeah.
I was like, yes, this is so cool.
Awesome.
Like I want to kind of turn around and do it again. Like I was like, okay, this is
So
sweet.
just do that all day.
Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, like, shit, I wish we had 3 or 4 laps because I'm really getting into this. Like this support is awesome.
Nice.
But anyway, so I take off back out in the desert, and finally, like this lap, I can see. Like I can see all the course, like,
Good.
and so I go like the first, I don't know, 10 miles or whatever. No, 7 miles. Yeah, and then I smoke a rock that was in one of the ruts, and that blew out my front left tire.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it slowly went down. So I guess it wasn't a full blowout, but it slowly went down. It took about a mile for it to go down and lose all its air. But I still had the helicopter following me, so I was like, dude, I can't stop. I got to keep going. Like, this is, like, it doesn't matter if I have a flat. I'm going to ride this wheel until it freaking breaks off. Like, I'm going. And
did you see your detour mark the second time?
Yeah. Well, it turned into a good line because all those dudes followed me through it, so,
Okay.
like, you could see it now.
Nice.
But I still don't think that was the race line. I still think at some point the race course was in a different position. So I don't know where it went, but whatever the race line that I took the second lap, it was still longer than whatever it was, but it worked. So it ended up finding
That's
the
all that
trail.
matters.
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know, but anyways, it worked out. I mean, by that time I'm already like down like 8-10 minutes or something, so I blew it anyways. So I get the flat tire, and I'm like, all right, I got to keep going, and then so I just start changing, like the racer mentality kicks in again, and I start thinking to myself, okay, well, this suspension's soft enough that if I give it gas and manage the throttle, I can kind of lift the front end up a little bit, like you would on your dirt bike, like you would lean back and manage a front tire.
Right.
So I start doing that. There's some corners I can't, like it's just leaning too hard to the,
Sure.
when you turn right, it's leaning too hard on the left front.
Right.
So it's just grabbing the whole wheel and tire, and that's it. But everywhere else on the track, like I can do it, like I can manage it pretty good. And so I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'll just keep going. Like I'll just run it till the wheels fall off, literally. And the tire lasted the whole race and didn't break a wheel or anything. And I pushed it almost race pace. Like my lap time was almost as fast as the leader's lap time with a flat tire.
Nice.
So, and that lap, I was having all kinds of issues with my head and my body and stuff. Like I was, like my vision started changing, and like all I did was just try to manage it. I lifted up my visor again. I took deep breaths. I like really like shook myself out. Like I did everything I could to stay focused and on task, and it worked out. Like at the end of the race, like the last couple miles, I was thinking to myself, like, dude, I'm bringing this home. Like, even if I got to ride this tire in or ride it in on a spindle, like I can still do it.
Yeah.
Like I only got a mile left, right?
Nice.
So, and then Alfonso, I think he knows what happens next. But I'm going through, and the helicopter's, showing like the end of the race or whatever, and I radio in. I'm like, dude, we're making it. We're going to make it. Like, this is so awesome.
Nice.
And right as I said that, like, I think Brian might have replied back, like, yeah, you're doing it. Good job. You only have another mile to go. I freaking lost it. Like, I couldn't hold it anymore. Like, whatever is inside me, all my emotions were like, nope, dude, this is it. Like, we're coming out. So I just started bawling, like, crying.
Are you sure it wasn't just to get the dust out of your eyes?
Yeah, that's what it was. Exactly. So I just had too much dust washing it out. And Justin was saying that same thing. He heard that emotion and stuff on the radio. Like, I didn't really even, like, it was like, I don't know. It was like I was looking at it from a third person perspective.
Yeah,
like I was pressing the button, holding the radios, talking. Like, it wasn't even like, it was like a dream come true. Like, it was totally this out of body focus experience that was like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I really don't. Like, words can't describe how emotional and how happy and all this stuff was. And then I crossed the finish line and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, this is like just an accomplishment. But it was only a 2-lap desert race.
Doesn't matter.
That's all it was, dude.
Doesn't matter.
So
cool.
What did it seem like when you guys were all up there on the hill and stuff, Alfonso?
So honestly, the whole time I was super nervous because what happened to you last time, but at the same time, like, we knew how much it meant to get back to that race. And like you said, the first lap with all the dust, no one would have blamed you if you just would have dropped out then and there. But the never give up attitude you have, man, you just kept pushing and pushing and finished that race. And on that home stretch, dude, we were all so proud and so stoked. I think that, like, everyone there, I don't think anyone there could have, like, put into words how happy and excited we were for you to finish that race, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I really appreciated it. And then to see everybody come back, like, at the pits and stuff. Oh, and then one other thing, too. I was so excited to see everybody, see all my crew. I forgot to go to the podium. I just went to the truck.
Nice.
So I totally blew that good picture on the podium.
Alfonso, were you riding the emotion a little bit, too, when you thought, because when he was explaining it, I didn't know that off-course business. Were you kind of, I mean, for me, I would have, like, sunk down into, oh, my gosh, are we going to, like, have a bad, some kind of repeat of something bad? Like, did that, like, come into your head for a second? And then when it's all back on course, it's all back to the high again and everybody's pumped. And that's kind of what I'm kind of feeling a little bit.
A little bit, man. It was kind of one of those things where it was like, oh man, like, this can't go wrong on this day. Like, everything's got to go right.
Exactly.
Even though nothing did. We got a flat tire in the second lap, but just seeing that helicopter come close and then actually seeing George, like,
that's so
okay,
cool.
Now he's this close. He's going to finish.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. And I totally spaced. I let the camera die. I had to swap out another battery. I got a wobbly shot of him finishing. Totally dropped the ball on that. But yeah, it was just, it was emotions everywhere, man.
I'll bet. It's almost like Craig, like, scripted this whole thing.
But how do you do that, though?
I mean, obviously not. Like, and there's no, there's nothing negative in that statement. It's like one of these guys that, like, just is a solid dude that's like, wouldn't it be awesome if I could help have a platform to get through this? You know, that's the way I see it.
Yeah,
so
it all
awesome.
Started from a little bicycle ride.
So cool.
It's crazy, right?
So cool.
But it was kind of like that, though. Now that you mention it, is like when I was driving around and I got lost, like, one of the guys did come kind of close to me, and I was like, okay, there's no way in hell I'm going to have any, like, I'm going way out here. So, like, I drove through the rocks and by the big trees and through the bush. Like, I wasn't anywhere close to the course until I got to a point where I knew that I saw something that I did before to be able to turn around and go back.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah, because I was kind of scared about that, too.
I'll bet.
So, it felt like one of those ESPN documentaries. Like 40
yeah, totally.
The one of the what?
Yeah, what are they called? The 20 for 20 or
what's that?
Go ahead, Alfonso.
The documentaries where they're usually like feel good stories, like someone got really hurt and came back and overcome the adversity. I mean, dude, you couldn't have scripted it any better.
Right.
I mean, especially with everything you went through on race day, getting lost, getting a flat tire. You finished. And I think you beat yourself up a little bit too hard sometimes. You finished, man. You got to hold that that trophy up when you do get it from Rob. You got to hold that thing up high, man.
Dude, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. We're bringing that thing in the studio for sure. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, too, was I think I said it at the beginning of the show, but, like, for Alfonso, like, I had to pass a couple of guys with a flat tire. Like, I had to still pass a couple dudes. And one of the guys was, like, totally taking up the whole race course, and I couldn't get past him because there was no places to pass. So I just dipped out onto the side of the race course and was just mobbing through trees. Like, big trees, too. Like,
lumberjacking.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I mentioned on the show or if I told you before, but it felt like I was driving through a cornfield, like, because so many bushes were like waving, flying over me.
I can picture it.
And I was thinking to myself, like, oh my God, please don't hit anything. Like, please don't hit anything. And I was probably doing like anywhere between 50 and 60 miles an hour just through fresh desert. Like, and finally, like, I passed a dude and I just went right back on the track and like got back into my line. I was like, oh, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. So it was pretty crazy, man. I don't know if you heard me talking on the radio like to that, or if they told you that all that stuff was happening, Alfonso.
No, I missed that stuff, man. I was up on the hill. So when you signed up for short course, I thought it meant a short course. I didn't know it was going to be 29 laps, man.
I didn't either. I thought they were going to give us a little course that we just do a bunch of laps on, like maybe 10 miles or something. But nope, it was 2 laps on that big old huge desert course.
Yeah, so I was kind of out of position for getting pictures and videos of you. I know for next time.
I think all the guys that did that were out there did a good job, man. We got some good pictures and helicopter stuff. And Chase from Shock Therapy said that he's got some good stuff from inside the helicopter. So, man, I really appreciate all the media stuff that you did. You got some really awesome natural moments, man. So I got to post some of that stuff. So I really, really appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, no worries, man. Anything for a good guy like you, man.
I appreciate it. You keep living that dirt life, son. So what's next for you? Are you going to get out to the desert soon?
Yeah, so Halloween, I think we're going to go out to Akatia, man.
Ooh, that'll be pretty fun.
Go for it one last time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. All right, well, keep in touch and let me know how things go. I definitely want to see if we can meet up before you move out to Texas. So it was good talking to you, and I'm glad that you were able to come and hang out with us for the weekend and get a taste of the race life out there in the dirt.
Yeah, man. Thank you again for the opportunity.
You got it, dude.
Take care, George.
All
Take care,
man.
Casey.
See you, buddy. Take care.
Later, dude.
Bye.
Jeff says minus the right fender during that crop dusting. That's a pretty good picture. Crop dusting.
That's what it felt like, man. Have you ever seen those movies where they're driving a car through the cornfield?
Yeah,
and all of
it's just going.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it felt like. Except for it was with a side-by-side with no windshield, so it's hitting me right in the face.
Right.
So at least I got by like super quick, man. It was just one race. It's the UTV World Championships. It was 2020. It was still weird. There was so many people that had negative thoughts about certain things about the race and stuff. But when I left that race, man, I can't tell you how meaningful it was to see everybody.
Absolutely.
It was so freaking cool. And that's one of the reasons that I thought on the way home. It took us 5 hours to get home from Havasu to Tucson. I couldn't stop thinking about how much I want the show to keep succeeding, but I want it to be a little bit more meaningful. I want it to be a little bit more motivational. I want to get a little bit more life stories, like we talked about so many cool things tonight, and we talked a little bit about racing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, how awesome is it? Because that's exactly what we do in the pits.
And it was what inspired you guys to get this platform going in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just me. Like, it wasn't just my story. Every single person here had a story. Even the kids had the same kind of motivational stories, right?
They're like, I call them little micro stories that fit into the big picture.
It's super cool. So, all right. So I really appreciate everybody, man. We usually do a rapid fire Q&A with.
So let me throw this at you.
Yeah.
We kind of have to.
The rapid fire
So
Q&A?
let's mix it up because I haven't seen some of these new ones, which I like.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you.
We'll do it super quick, but we're going to do it like this.
Okay.
Ready? We're going to do this, and then we have to say it.
Okay.
So you're going to say, let's see, how are we going to announce it? Like 1, 2, 3, I'll say it, and then we both say what it is?
Sure, yeah, you start, though.
Okay, so I'll do the first one, and then we just immediately answer it.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Dunes or the river?
Dunes. Yeah, okay. Three-wheeler or quad?
Three-wheeler.
Quad.
Cianciarillo or Osborne?
Cianciarillo. Yeah. Well, the only reason I'm saying him though is because Osborne just won the championship. Like he's already. We'll talk about this on a future show about the motocross. But
this is a hard one for him because these are both my guys.
Well, that's what I mean.
What I mean.
That's the reason why I put him on here. But the reason I'm saying Cianciarillo is because he's the underdog right now.
This is true.
So
this is true.
That's the only reason I picked him.
Favorite food? Pizza.
Tacos. That's pretty easy for me. Little Smokies or pizza rolls?
Little Smokies.
Little Smokies too.
Favorite soda? Dr. Pepper.
Diet Dr. Pepper. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go back because this weekend I was actually like, as weird as it sounds, these whole things that keep popping up.
Fanta.
I felt like an orange soda again, and I haven't felt like an orange soda in like 10 months, and that's the thing that I've been craving ever since I got hurt. So
that's funny.
Crazy. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Telekinesis.
What's that?
So if I'm seeing it right, it's like that mind power of knowing what's in your head.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. So and then affecting what's in your head.
Don't you already have telekinesis with your wife and the girls though?
No,
dude. I'm just gonna go with flying because I could. If I ever get in a situation where I need to dip out, I could fly instead of walk.
True.
So
You could have flown up to that helicopter.
yeah, exactly. Uggs or Crocs?
Oh, neither.
Yeah, I don't want either, but I'm picking Crocs just because my dad wears them.
I'll go Crocs too because my buddy Don Kelly's a nurse.
He's got them.
He rocks them. Yep. Most memorable race.
Oh, you can go because it's a little longer. I got a good one though.
I'm gonna skip it. It's gonna go too long.
Mine's just Glenn Helen on the 80s. So
perfect.
I crashed the first turn and almost won at the end of the race. So
love it. Perfect. Last race back after brain surgery. That'll be mine with a win. Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Praline the cream.
Gold medal ribbon.
What's that?
Oh man,
What is
Robbins.
it?
Baskin Robbins.
Gold medal ribbon.
Actually, I'm tied that and world class chocolate.
Is it gold medal ribbon? Is that the flavor?
Dude, it's
what is it?
Drop the mic. It's
really
like vanilla chocolate with some kind of caramel swirl. It's dumb. You have to get it.
Like a turtle, kind of?
Yeah, kind of.
Ooh, my mom might like that one.
Baskin Robbins.
Ski or snowboard?
Snowboard. Sweet. I feel like we're not finished if we don't do this, so I'm glad we're doing it. Dogs or cats?
Dogs. Netflix or YouTube?
Dang, COVID ruined everything. I'm going Netflix.
So I'll go YouTube just because I watch it so much, but I've been really getting back into Netflix lately. So
see,
Burrito or taco?
Taco. We both know this answer. Supercross or motocross?
Yeah,
Supercross.
Yeah, motocross. What other form of racing you want to try?
Because we always say it, I'm literally pumped on monster trucks.
Yeah, now you are. I told you. Just because of this weekend, I'm going to say I'd like to co-drive in a desert car.
Sweet.
I don't even care about the driving thing since I got a little taste of it going in the RS1 in a single seater.
Yep.
I had a girl ask me why I didn't have a co-driver, and it made me think, why didn't I want to try being a co-driver?
Seriously, and think of you have a whole different mindset now of all of the rest of the industry. The wrenches and the dudes that are. I mean, go back to when you talked about the guy for who was the mechanic that immediately jumped into and said fix this and this?
Darren.
Oh, for Justin.
Darren,
right?
yeah, Darren.
How cool was that? He was just like barking them out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, direction was so key in that situation.
Awesome.
So seeing that, like, I would love to be able to understand what it's like in the passenger seat too.
Exactly. I bet Joe could give us some major stories about that stuff. Joe Whining,
dude, and some major advice too.
Absolutely. All right, so we got one left, right?
All right. Oh, this one's easy. We don't even have to ask the question. I'm picking chips and guacamole.
Man, I love fries too, but yeah, chips and guac.
Have you ever had super fries?
I was just going to say, so that's the best of both worlds.
Yes. If anybody doesn't know what super fries are, it's fries with basically nachos on top of them with guacamole and carne asada.
Yeah, so good.
So, all right. Good job, Case.
Sweet. Too.
Sweet. So next week's show is going to be a little bit different because we talked so much racing the past 2 or 3 shows. We got Carrie and Oren on. Carrie and Oren. Oren is the co-driver for Bryce Menzies, and
Nice.
Carrie is owner at Track and Trail Off-Road. So it's going to be neat to talk with both of them because they both have completely different perspectives on.
We were just talking about co-drivers. There you go.
Exactly. And they both have completely different perspectives on, well, maybe not different perspectives, but they have different functions in the dirt. So
Right. Equally as important.
Yeah, absolutely.
If not more sometimes.
Yeah. And Carrie, she actually does the track and trail off-road, a lot of Jeep stuff and overlanding stuff and things like that. So it'll be neat to talk with both of them.
Awesome.
I want to, I don't know if we have any more comments, Case, if you want to look at those, but I want to thank everybody for chiming in and having a good time with us. Tyrone, you were asking so many questions, man. I don't know if we could have got to all of them.
Yeah, and I miss you too, buddy. He made that comment about the industry needing you and wanting you, and he said the same thing about me for RC. And
I saw that. So
I know the feeling. Thanks, buddy. I miss you guys too. So there are a few. Jeremiah Drew, let's connect. I love your show. John Hoopert's, shoot, where'd he go? That's why it's called the Dirt Life, not Dirt Racing. Hey, yeah, see, perfect. George, co-drive.
Do we need to go?
Me.
Oh no, my daughter.
Nope, I think we got that. Come drive with me at Blue Water. Jeremiah Drew.
Cool. Yeah, so I'll have to connect with you, Jeremiah. I appreciate that offer, man. I'm going to definitely be talking with some people about doing some co-driving, so I don't want to make any decisions right yet and say whether I can or can't, because I've already actually got a couple offers to do it.
Oh, look who just piped in with the American flag.
Oh, Robert, dude. You already got me, like, it got heavy in the studio when you came over here, Rob, and now you got me crying, knowing that I got the Perseverance Award. So I didn't know, but thank you, man. I'm going to call you after the show. So, Rob, watch for your phone, bud.
April wants to give you a ride in their golf cart called the Sarge.
What's that?
I don't know. It sounds pretty cool, though.
I know. It does sound cool, right? So, yeah, I'll definitely do that. Can we bring tacos, though? So thank you to all of our guests for, chiming in today. It was really, really cool. We definitely want to still do the giveaway. So
keyword taco.
Yeah, we'll do something with the keyword taco, right? So please pay attention on our social media channels. We're going to post something on our social media channel. Why don't we do that, Case? Like, since you just mentioned it, you guys have a little bit of a head start. Keyword taco. And we'll figure out something to do on social media with that. So anybody that didn't watch the show, they won't be able to understand
what they don't know
what
keyword taco.
Yeah, they don't know keyword taco. So pay attention to the keyword taco. We'll post some on social media. There's going to be 4 or 5 wheels and tires that are coming off the project Winning at Life RS1. These tires, unfortunately, have seen better days, but these would be super, super cool things to hang on the wall. And since I felt like a superstar with the helicopter following me around, I'll just sign them for you guys, and we'll give away some of these TAC meds, safety, I don't know what you want to call them, ribbons, dog tags. And Ryan from KMC said he'll throw in some swag too. So you guys pay attention to our social media channels this week, and you guys can win that stuff again.
Don't forget my candle, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Love you, too.
Maybe you'll even get 2. You can have one in the garage and one in the bedroom.
Oh,
right?
My life will be complete with, sorry, go ahead.
Like I said, thank you very much to our guests. We didn't have time to run our commercials during the middle segment, so I want to thank all of our sponsors from the bottom of our heart. We really, really appreciate all their support, so thank you very much to the guys at Shock Therapy. They were just an amazing group of people. Use the code DIRTLIFE at shocktherapist.com or give them a call and say the Dirt Life sent you. Thank you to Ryan at KMC Wheels for just being a badass all-around guy and supporting you guys in the audience. We really appreciate him. ZollingerRacingProducts.com. Travis Zollinger and all his guys did very well at the races this weekend. You can use the same parts they did, and we did on the project Winning at Life RS1 build. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at ZollingerRacingProducts.com and save a whole bunch of money. And thank you very much to Lance and all his crew at Solderweld for always having our back with the off-road repair kits. You can go buy one at Solderweld.com with the code DIRTLIFE and save a whole bunch of money too. So, again, I'd say at every show, we thank you guys so much for joining us and being a part of this dirt life that we all live. I know it's a small crew that we have here, but we love it. We love hanging out with you guys. So thank you very much, Case, for coming in. It was really cool to have you here. It'd be a support mechanism for this emotional show, dude.
Absolutely. I'm pumped. Robert, you're just changing lives, bro. I know you hear this kind of stuff all the time, but just think of what he said, what he snapped Kaden out of, after or before that. Next, so, like, he's got time.
You want to hear another story?
Just giving of himself 24/7.
I'll say this super quick, but it's another story. There's a double-leg amputee racing, and he's a war veteran. He's not his first race, but they're all out there supporting him. He's so racing. Awesome. Yeah, they go out there and get him if he breaks down. Like, it's so amazing. Like, you see the things that happens, like, that he's doing, like, in real life.
It's amazing. And think of Robert and his crew are so focused on that to make sure this guy has the perfect weekend.
Yeah.
But he still has time to go make it happen for Kaden in that moment that matters.
Yeah. 100%. And then me.
Throw it up to you. It's awesome. Thanks, Robert, for what you do and your guys. And it's just, you've pretty much made my week for me, brother.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, everybody. We really appreciate Robert. We appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much. We love all you guys. Thank you for living your dirt life with us. We will see you next week.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.